Let your breath soften as you settle into the quiet of this moment, as though you are stepping into a gentle forest where the noise of the day has already begun to fade. Feel the body loosen its grip on everything it tried to hold, allowing awareness to rest like moonlight on still water. In this calm, remember that taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha is not an effort, but a return, an easing back into the simple truth that all things arise and pass like drifting clouds. Let the mind open, spacious and unhurried, as compassion surrounds you like a soft glow ahead on the path. With each slow breath, allow yourself to release what no longer needs to be carried, and move inward toward the quiet shelter of wisdom. The day has released its final sigh, and the world settles into a soft and quiet dusk as you take your first steps into the forest. The light behind you fades gently, like the closing of a door to all the noise and demands you carried until now. Ahead, the path is calm and welcoming, draped in hues of deep green and warm amber as the last rays of sunlight slip between the leaves. Each footstep feels lighter than the last, as though the earth itself is inviting you deeper into a place where burdens loosen and thoughts grow softer. The air is cool, touched by the scent of moss and wildflowers that bloom quietly along the edges of your path. The forest breathes around you, slow and unhurried, and your own breathing begins to fall into harmony with it. In this stillness, the troubles of your day begin to drift away, dissolving into the quiet that gathers among the trees. Somewhere deeper in the forest, an unseen presence rests, not loud, not commanding, but subtly known, like warmth on the skin when sunlight touches it. It is the soft presence of the Buddha's wisdom, watching, guiding, offering refuge without a word. You feel it as a gentle assurance, a reminder that nothing here seeks to harm you. This forest is a sanctuary, a space carved out of time itself, where silence becomes a healing companion. You continue your steps, feeling the ground steady and sure beneath you. Pebbles shift softly, twigs bend without breaking. The path is neither straight nor demanding. It curves like a river of earth, leading you slowly inward. With each step, the forest grows deeper, but not darker. Instead, it becomes more serene, more spacious, as though the trees themselves offer you room to breathe more freely. A faint breeze moves between trunks and branches, stirring the leaves into a soft rustling whisper. It sounds almost like ancient wisdom traveling through the air, gentle, reassuring, timeless. You pause to listen, letting that whisper wash through you. Whatever weight you carried before entering the forest loosens further, slipping from your shoulders like a cloak you no longer need. A bird calls softly in the distance, one note, then another, fading into the stillness. Even the animals seem to move with intention and peace, unhurried and unafraid. You realize that this forest is its own world, untouched by the rhythms that usually command your attention. Here, nothing demands anything from you. Here, you are allowed simply to be. The path widens slightly, offering a moment of openness. You notice how the light settles in gentle pools on the forest floor, illuminating patches of ferns that sway tenderly as the breeze returns. Shadows lie softly between them, calm and comforting rather than cold. In this interplay of light and shade, you begin to sense the harmony that the Buddha often spoke of, the balance between presence and letting go, awareness and ease. Your heartbeat slows, aligning with the forest's rhythm. The tension in your hands, your jaw, your shoulders, gently begins to unravel. You feel the comfort of a natural world that expects nothing, yet gives so much. Space, stillness, breath, and this quiet companionship. As you continue walking, you become aware of a faint glow ahead. It is subtle, like moonlight reflected on water, though the sun has not yet fully set. The glow pulses softly between the trees, steady and inviting. Without thinking, you feel drawn toward it, not with urgency, but with curiosity and calm. With each step toward the light, the sensation of peaceful presence grows stronger. It is as though the Buddha's compassion is gathering in a single gentle point ahead, calling you to come closer, not to teach, not to test, but to soothe. As you move deeper toward that glow, the forest begins to quiet even further. The breeze softens. The leaves rest. The last colors of dusk give way to something more serene, a deeper blue that settles over everything like a calming veil. The path narrows once more, but instead of closing in, it feels like it is guiding you more carefully. The trees bend slightly inward, as though creating a protective arch above your steps. Their branches sway with silent kindness, offering a reminder that even nature can express compassion in its own way. That faint glow becomes more defined now, a gentle radiance that flickers like a living ember just beyond the next bend. There is no urgency, only a soft anticipation, as though the forest knows you are nearing something important and wants to prepare you for it. Your breath deepens. Your mind quiets. Your heart settles into a steady, rhythmic ease. And up ahead, just beyond the curve of the path, the first breath of calm is waiting, simple, tranquil, and ready to greet you as you continue your journey into the deeper peace that lies ahead, where the teachings of the Buddha begin to rise like dawn over still waters, guiding you toward the next step of your rest. When you are ready, the glow will lead you gently toward the place where your breath becomes your companion and the forest becomes your teacher. Take a moment now to let your breath settle into a softer rhythm, as though the forest itself were showing you how to breathe. The trees around you rise in quiet patience, their branches lifting and lowering with the gentlest movements of wind, and your body instinctively mirrors that calm sway. Each inhale becomes a slow gathering of peace. Each exhale becomes a release of tension that you no longer need to hold. You feel your chest loosen, your shoulders soften, your whole being beginning to remember a more natural, unhurried way of existing. As you continue along the path, the glow ahead rests like a small lantern placed just for you. But before you reach it, you pause. In this pause, a deeper stillness unfolds. The air is cool, but comforting, wrapping softly around you like a shawl, woven from quiet moments. You notice the subtle warmth rising from within, an inner warmth, born not from effort, but from the simple, profound act of breathing with awareness. Your next inhale travels through you like a soft river of light, illuminating tight places within the body. Your next exhale lets that light drift outward, dissolving tension the way morning sun dissolves a thin veil of mist. Nothing needs to be forced. Nothing needs to be fixed. Here in this forest, your breath is already enough. With each breath, settle more deeply into the truth that the Buddha often shared. The mind becomes steady when anchored gently, never harshly. You sense how gentle attention works, like placing a feather on the palm rather than a stone. The breath is that feather, landing easily, resting lightly, inviting stillness without demand. Your thoughts begin to lose their sharp edges. The tangled strands of worry begin to loosen. You feel the quiet intelligence of your body responding to every slow inhale and every unhurried exhale. A soft wind returns, gliding through the leaves above. It moves slowly enough that you can almost feel the space between each breath of the forest. You imagine breathing with the trees, your lungs expanding as their branches lift and releasing as their leaves drift to rest. This shared rhythm creates a quiet connection, a sense that you are not walking alone, but accompanied by the calm presence of all beings who have ever sought peace in their own breath. The forest floor beneath your feet feels comfortable, cushioned by fallen leaves and gentle earth. The path curves slightly, and as you follow it, your breathing deepens without effort. You notice the subtle shift inside you, a softening of the mind's edges, a warming of the heart. The inner storm that once stirred feels calmer now, as though it has begun to dissolve into a deeper trust. You pause again, this time placing one hand lightly over your heart. The warmth of your palm meets the quiet rhythm beneath it. The pulse matches the breath. The breath matches the subtle movement of the forest. In that harmony, you sense the beginnings of ease not just in the body, but in the thoughts that drift like clouds across the mind's wide sky. You remember the Buddha's teaching that peace begins with one mindful breath, and then another, and then another, until the entire being becomes a resting place. As your breath continues to soften, the faint glow ahead brightens slightly, not with urgency, but with invitation. You begin walking again at a pace that feels natural, as though the forest moves with you. Every step becomes lighter, every inhalation smoother. The quiet inside you thickens, deepens, becomes a kind of soft presence that comforts as much as it restores. In the distance, you begin to hear something new, so faint at first that it blends with the breeze. A whispering sound, rhythmic and gentle, like a long exhale from the earth itself. You listen more closely. It is the sound of water, a stream flowing somewhere ahead, steady and patient. The breath within you responds instinctively, following the rhythm of that faraway sound. Inhale, gentle as the rise of water against smooth stone. Exhale, easy as the waters return to its path. With each breath, your steps become more fluid. You no longer walk, you glide. You no longer think, you observe. The mind settles like a leaf drifting to still water. The stream's distant murmur grows clearer, guiding you toward it as naturally as the moon guides the tide. You continue forward, your breath now as soft as the forest air, as steady as the earth beneath your feet. And as you follow the quiet call of the water, the glow fades into the background, replaced by a new sense of direction, gentle, flowing, and deeply soothing. Soon you will reach the place where the stream waits, carrying ancient wisdom in every ripple, ready to teach you the next step in calming the heart. You move toward the gentle murmur ahead, each step guided by the soft rhythm of flowing water. The forest opens subtly, as though parting just enough for you to enter a place long protected and rarely disturbed. A clear stream appears, winding gracefully through smooth stones and moss-lined banks, its surface shimmering with the last traces of daylight. The water moves with a patience that immediately quiets the mind, reminding you that peace is not something created. It is something revealed when everything unnecessary is allowed to drift away. You approach the edge and crouch beside the stream, feeling an almost magnetic pull toward its serenity. The water is so clear that the stones beneath seem lit from within, holding centuries of stillness in their muted colors. When you lean closer, the cool breath of the stream brushes your cheeks, delicate as a whispered blessing. You place your fingertips into the water and feel its calm movement wrap around your skin, inviting you to release the remnants of tension held deep within your body. The stream moves without hesitation, embracing every shape, every bend, every obstacle with the same effortless grace. Watching it, you begin to understand the teaching the Buddha offered so gently. Thoughts, like water, are meant to flow. They arrive, they ripple, they pass. There is no need to grasp at them, no need to hold them in place. The mind becomes clear not by force, but by allowing everything to move in its natural rhythm. A small leaf lands upon the surface and drifts slowly downstream. You follow its path with your eyes, noticing how the stream supports it without resistance. The leaf does not struggle to stay afloat. It simply trusts the water beneath it. In this moment, you feel an echo within yourself, the desire to trust your own breath, your own awareness, enough to let your thoughts pass with the same gentleness. As you continue to watch, the stream reflects the softening sky above. The colors deepen into muted blues and tender golds, blending together like calm emotions resting side by side. You feel that same blend inside you now. Your breath deepens. Your shoulders loosen. Your heart settles into a slower, steadier rhythm. For the first time today, you feel as though the noise within has begun to settle into silence. The Buddha once taught that clarity arises when the mind is unclouded, when we stop stirring the water with restless thought and allow the sediment to settle naturally. You imagine your mind as a bowl of water once shaken, but now left undisturbed. Slowly, everything begins to sink to the bottom. What remains is clear, open, spacious. You do not need to fight your thoughts. You need only watch them drift downstream, each one becoming lighter as it moves away. A deeper peace begins to rise within you. Not dramatic, not sudden, but steady like the stream. You rest beside it, breathing in harmony with its flow. Your inhale mirrors its gathering movement. Your exhale releases into its gentle forward motion. Even your heartbeat seems to align with the stream's rhythm, as though the two of you share an ancient understanding. A soft glimmer catches your eye further along the water's path. It flickers gently, like firelight hidden behind the curve of the stream. The glow does not call you with urgency. Rather, it beckons with quiet warmth, the kind that welcomes rather than demands. You stand slowly, your body refreshed by the water's calm presence, and feel an unspoken encouragement to follow where the stream leads. Walking beside the water, you notice how the forest shifts again. The trees grow taller, their trunks smooth and strong. Their leaves create a natural canopy that shades the stream in patterns of moonlit silver. Every breath feels easier to take here. Every step feels more certain. You sense that the forest recognizes your willingness to let go, and in return, it offers its own gentle companionship. The glimmer ahead grows more defined as you continue along the bank. It wavers between branches, like a lantern swaying softly in the distance. Its warm glow seems connected to the stream somehow, as though the water carries not just clarity, but also a message of compassion waiting to be revealed. You feel drawn toward it in the same way you were drawn to the forest, the breath, the stillness. Naturally, effortlessly, as though guided from within. The stream's sound deepens slightly, becoming richer, fuller, as though echoing the wisdom carried in its flow. You follow its voice, feeling more grounded with each gentle step. What once felt like the beginning of a journey now feels like a homecoming, a return to the peace you have always carried, but rarely touched so clearly. As you draw nearer to the soft golden glow ahead, the forest grows quieter, embracing you with a deeper calm. The path ahead holds a gentle promise, touched by light and compassion, ready to reveal what waits just beyond the next bend, where a solitary lantern rests beside the stream, shining with the warmth of a heart awakening. The soft golden glow becomes clearer as you approach, its warm light shimmering gently across the surface of the stream. Nestled beside the water sits a single lantern, resting on a smooth stone worn down by years of quiet presence. Its flame does not flicker wildly. Instead, it burns with a steady, sincere radiance, calm enough to soothe the mind, bright enough to guide the heart. The moment you draw near, you feel a subtle warmth expand within you, as though the lantern's glow has reached inward and touched something tender. This lantern feels ancient, not in a way that suggests age, but in a way that suggests timelessness. It carries the kind of light that does not belong to any one person, but to all beings who have ever sought refuge from their inner storms. The flame seems to hold the essence of compassion itself, gentle, unwavering, and always available. As you stand before it, you are reminded that compassion is not a grand gesture. It is a presence, a softening, a willingness to open the heart even when the world feels heavy. You crouch beside the lantern and let your hands hover near its warmth. The glow touches your palms like a quiet reassurance, reminding you that kindness begins with allowing yourself to rest, to breathe, to be held by something greater than your worries. You notice how the flame casts gentle patterns on the ground, shapes that seem to rise and fall like the rhythm of breath. Each shape drifts across the earth without struggle, disappearing and reappearing in the lantern's glow. In this dance of shifting light, you feel a teaching unfolding. Compassion is not rigid. It moves, adapts, softens, and embraces each moment just as it is. Your eyes linger on the flame, watching how it holds its center, even as the breeze brushes past. You realize that compassion works in the same way. It does not resist the winds of life, but remains steady at the core. Even when the world around you stirs with uncertainty, compassion stays grounded, offering a sheltering warmth that steadies the heart. You breathe in that warmth, letting it spread through your chest, down your arms and into your hands. With each inhale, your body softens. With each exhale, your mind grows clearer. Sitting beside the lantern, you feel a quiet shift inside you. The weight you carried earlier seems lighter now, not because it has vanished, but because it is held more gently. The Buddha taught that compassion is both a refuge and a strength, like water that can soothe, and like a flame that can illuminate the darkest spaces of the mind. You sense that truth unfolding within you now. The parts of you that felt tight begin to loosen. The parts that felt dim begin to brighten. The lantern's glow reaches outward, touching the nearby branches and casting warm reflections across the stones. Birds nestled in the trees settle deeper into their rest, and even the stream seems to move with a softer tone. Everything around you feels touched by this same compassionate light. You close your eyes for a moment and imagine breathing it in, golden, gentle, and filled with a deep, patient love for all beings, including yourself. With each breath, the flame within your heart grows steadier, mirroring the lantern's unwavering glow. When you open your eyes again, you notice something you hadn't seen before. Just beyond the lantern, stretching over the stream, is a small wooden footbridge. It is simple in design, crafted from smooth planks that curve gently toward the opposite bank. The lantern's glow falls across it, illuminating the wood in warm hues that invite you forward. The bridge looks worn but sturdy, as though it has supported many travelers who sought peace in these quiet woods. You stand slowly, feeling the lingering warmth of the lantern at your side. The flame continues to glow, steady and calm, offering its silent blessing as you prepare to move on. You take a final moment to place your hand lightly on the lantern's frame, acknowledging the compassion it represents, not as something outside you, but as something awakening within you. The warmth beneath your palm feels like a promise that wherever your steps lead next, compassion will walk with you. Turning toward the bridge, you step forward. The wood feels secure beneath your feet, and the gentle creak of each plank echoes softly against the quiet night. The stream flows beneath you, reflecting the lantern's light in ripples that shimmer like fragments of moonlight. You walk slowly, letting the peace of this moment settle into your breath, your body, your heart. Ahead, the other side of the bridge opens into a small clearing kissed by soft night air. Something waits there, calm, inviting, ready to guide you deeper into your journey of rest and quiet awakening, where the wind will speak through petals and branches in the garden up ahead. You take your first step onto the wooden bridge, and the soft creak beneath your foot rises like a quiet echo of life's small uncertainties. The sound is not unsettling. Instead, it feels honest, an acknowledgement that even on the most peaceful paths, movement brings change, and change brings sound. The boards shift slightly beneath your weight, yet they hold you with steady confidence, reminding you that stability is not the absence of movement, but the trust that what supports you will not give way. You continue forward slowly, feeling the bridge respond to each step with a gentle murmur. The wood has weathered countless seasons, smoothed by rain, sun, and time. Its surface carries the memory of every traveler who crossed before you, each one leaving behind whispers of hope, release, and quiet courage. As your foot touches each plank, you feel guided rather than alone, supported by the accumulated kindness of those who once walked seeking peace, just as you do now. The stream beneath flows with soft persistence, carrying reflections of lantern light and drifting moonbeams along its surface. You pause in the center of the bridge and look down, watching the water glide effortlessly around stones, never resisting, never forcing its way. It simply follows its nature, flowing, adapting, continuing. The sight settles something inside you. You realize that you, too, can move through life without gripping so tightly, without expecting the path to be straight or silent. Resting your hands lightly on the wooden railing, you take a slow breath. The air is cool and fresh, filled with the faint fragrance of moss and night blossoms carried on the breeze. The inhale fills your lungs with calm. The exhale releases the last remnants of the tension you carried from earlier hours. You feel your shoulders drop, your jaw soften, the space behind your eyes grow quiet. The bridge holds you gently, as if understanding the precise kind of steadiness you need in this moment. You resume walking, each step becoming a small act of letting go. The more you release, the lighter your body feels. Worries that once seemed heavy now drift like leaves caught in a current, dissolving into the night air. The bridge no longer creaks in uncertainty. Instead, it hums softly, as if responding to your newfound ease. You realize that much of life's noise comes from the tension you hold, and when you release that tension, the world softens with you. As you near the far side, the lantern's glow behind you casts long, warm shadows along the planks. Ahead, darkness and light weave together through the trees, creating a gentle invitation toward the next part of your journey. You step onto the final board, noticing how solid it feels beneath your foot, more solid than when you began. This, too, is a quiet teaching. Sometimes the path grows steadier, not because the world changes, but because you do. Stepping off the bridge, your feet meet soft earth once more. The sound of the stream shifts, becoming a gentle backdrop, rather than the guiding voice it was moments ago. You take a moment to look back at the bridge, appreciating how it carried you with such calm, steady presence. The lantern's golden glow near its base flickers warmly, offering a silent farewell. It feels as though both the bridge and the lantern have become companions, guides that remain even as you walk onward. Ahead, the forest opens into a small, fragrant clearing. Moonlight drapes itself over blossoming plants, their petals opening slightly in the cool night air. The clearing feels like a quiet embrace, a soft pause before the forest continues. You notice how the breeze moves differently here. It carries a faint, sweet scent, like flowers touched by starlight. The air is gentler, the ground softer, as though this space exists for rest, for breath, for simple being. You walk a few steps into the clearing and feel the atmosphere shift around you. The wind brushes lightly against your skin, bringing with it the murmurs of petals stirring and leaves whispering. There is a sense of openness here, a space where the heart can stretch, where the mind can soften without fear of being overwhelmed. You feel the peace of the place settle over you like a soft blanket. Closing your eyes for a moment, you rest in the quiet, sensing the presence of something new, something alive, gentle, and deeply welcoming. When you open your eyes again, you see that the clearing blooms into a serene garden just ahead, its blossoms shimmering faintly in the night wind. Petals drift softly across the ground, carried by the breeze like blessings scattered by an unseen hand. The path guides you toward this tranquil garden, where the wind and blossoms move together in a dance, shaped by stillness and grace, ready to show you the next step of your journey. You step gently into the garden, and the air around you changes, as though it has been waiting for your arrival. Night blossoms unfurl in soft clusters, their petals glowing faintly beneath the wash of moonlight. The fragrance is delicate, neither sweet nor sharp, but soothing, like a breath released after a long-held tension. The garden feels alive, yet hushed, as though every flower, every leaf, every blade of grass understands the quiet you seek. Here, sound itself seems to soften. Even the earth beneath your feet feels tender, cushioned by fallen petals that shift like feathers as you walk. A breeze rises, subtle at first, just enough to stir the edges of your clothing. Then it deepens into a gentle wind that sweeps through the garden with a light, playful touch. Blossoms tremble, petals lift, branches sway in graceful arcs. Nothing resists the movement. Each form yields willingly, flowing with the wind's passage like dancers who understand that beauty lies in motion as much as in stillness. As you watch, you feel a teaching unfold quietly within you. Everything moves, everything changes, and impermanence is not loss. It is life expressing itself gently, moment by moment. You reach out and catch a drifting petal in your palm. It rests there for only a heartbeat before the wind carries it away again, rising from your hand with effortless grace. For a moment, you feel a small ache watching it float out of your grasp, but then a deeper understanding settles in your chest. The petal belonged to the wind as much as it once belonged to the flower. Its journey continues, and there is a quiet beauty in allowing things to move on when their time with you is complete. Another breeze glides past, brushing your skin with cool tenderness. The night air feels clean, light, and filled with the gentle wisdom of impermanence. You breathe it in slowly, letting it fill your lungs and soften the spaces within you that once felt rigid. Each exhale releases something old, a worry, a lingering heaviness, an expectation you no longer need to carry. The wind does not judge what you let go. It receives everything with the same softness it gives to the falling petals. You walk deeper into the garden, and the path becomes lined with small lanterns, tucked beneath flowering shrubs. They glow faintly, little islands of warm light guiding your steps forward. Their illumination blends with moonlight to create a quiet world, where shadow and brightness coexist in harmony. The play of light reminds you of your own inner landscape, moments of clarity intertwined with moments of uncertainty, all part of the same unfolding journey. As the wind continues to move through the garden, blossoms sway in rhythmic waves, like a field of gentle thoughts drifting through the mind. You realize that you do not need to cling to any particular feeling or thought. Like petals in the wind, they can appear, dance, and drift away without leaving you diminished. With each step, the garden teaches you how to soften your grip on experience, how to let life pass through you without fear. You kneel beside a cluster of night-blooming flowers, watching their petals open more fully as the breeze sweeps by. Their beauty is fleeting. By dawn they may close again, or scatter across the garden floor. Yet in this moment, they are radiant, alive in their briefness, precious because of their impermanence. You place your hand gently on the ground beside them, feeling the earth rise cool and steady beneath your palm. You realize that even in a world of constant change, there is stillness at the center of things. The Buddha taught that refuge is not found in resisting change, but in understanding it deeply. You feel that understanding beginning to settle into your bones. A stronger breeze passes through the garden, and this time, the wind carries a sound with it, a faint and distant chant. It drifts toward you like an echo from far beyond the visible world, soft enough that you cannot make out the words, yet soothing enough that you feel their meaning in your heart. The chant rises and falls with the wind, weaving its melody between branches and petals. It feels familiar, like a memory from a life you cannot fully recall, and yet deeply connected to. You stand once more, drawn toward the source of the chant. The wind guides you along the garden path, brushing your shoulders as though encouraging you to follow. Flowers bow gently as you pass, and lanterns glow a little brighter, as if honoring your movement toward deeper peace. The chant grows clearer, not louder, but more resonant, like a voice carried lovingly through the night. At the far edge of the garden, where the blossoms thin and the path narrows once again, the wind gathers around you in a soft, swirling embrace. It carries with it that ancient, tender sound, the chant of boundless kindness, waiting just beyond the next curve, ready to guide your heart into the next stage of your journey. The soft chant grows clearer as you follow the narrowing path beyond the garden, carried on currents of cool night air, like a gentle call from distant compassion. The sound doesn't demand your attention. It simply reaches you with the tenderness of a warm hand resting lightly on your shoulder. Its tone is low and melodic, rising and falling with a steady rhythm that mirrors the quiet pulse of your own breath. You pause for a moment, letting the chant settle into you, feeling the subtle vibration of each note soften the spaces within your chest. As you stand there, you recognize the familiar comfort of metta, boundless loving kindness, spoken not through doctrine, but through feeling. The chant is not spoken in any language you know, yet the meaning is unmistakable. It speaks of safety, goodwill, and a wish for all beings to be at ease. Without effort, you breathe this intention in. Without expectation, you send it outward again, like ripples expanding naturally across still water. Each phrase of the chant seems to awaken a deeper warmth inside your heart. It begins as a small glow, then expands gently outward until it feels as though your entire chest were illuminated from within. The warmth is not intense. It is soft, quiet, and deeply human. It reminds you of the Buddha's teaching that loving kindness does not require perfection or effort. It simply requires a willingness to open, even the smallest amount. You realize you are opening now, the way a flower opens to night's cool light without needing to be coaxed. The chanting continues, growing neither louder nor faster, but more intimate, as though the sound were now rising from the very earth beneath your feet. You feel it in the ground, the air, the trees, and the stream that still murmurs softly behind you. You even sense it in your own breath, the inhale gathering kindness, the exhale offering it freely. The idea that loving kindness must be directed only outward dissolves. You include yourself effortlessly, the chant reminding you that you too are worthy of gentleness. As the warmth within your heart grows, images arise naturally. Faces of people you know, people you have loved, and even those you have struggled with. No stories accompany them, no memories that create tension, just faces illuminated by the same soft glow that fills your own heart. You feel tenderness extending toward each one, not because you are forcing it, but because the chant shows you how simple and natural such tenderness can be. The barriers you often hold without realizing, between yourself and others, between you and your own peace, begin to dissolve like mist touched by morning light. The chant shifts slightly now, deepening in tone, as if acknowledging the vastness of the world. You imagine kindness spreading outward beyond the forest, into distant valleys, villages, mountains, oceans, and skies. You picture countless beings, breathing, hoping, longing for ease, and you feel your heart echoing their longing with sincerity. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free from suffering. These silent wishes shape themselves inside you, not as a prayer, but as a natural response to the compassion that has awakened. You walk slowly toward the source of the chant, each step guided by the warmth radiating from your chest. The path is gentle, covered in petals, carried from the garden by the soft wind. You notice how your feet seem to glide rather than press into the earth, supported by the same loving presence that fills the air. The chanting begins to shift once more, becoming lighter, more spacious, like a voice receding into a wide, open sky. As you listen, you sense that the chant is not ending. It is expanding, blending into the world around you. The trees absorb it. The wind carries it. The stars seem to shimmer with its resonance. The chant has become part of the night, part of the forest, part of you. Even as the sound grows softer, its presence remains steady, resting in your breath like a glowing ember that will not fade. Ahead, the path opens into a clearing where a stone walkway begins. The stones are smooth and cool, arranged with careful intention, forming a graceful path that curves deeper into the forest's heart. Each stone catches the faint glow of moonlight, creating a pattern that resembles stepping into a calm, quiet dream. You take your first step onto the stone path, feeling the solidity beneath your foot, and the warmth of loving kindness still bright within your chest. The chant fades gently into silence, not disappearing but settling around you like a protective embrace, guiding you forward into the evening's deeper stillness, where mindful footsteps await in the path just ahead. You step fully onto the stone walkway, and immediately the air around you grows quieter, more intimate, as though the forest has drawn closer to listen to your breath. Each stone is cool beneath your foot, smooth from years of wind, rain, and the tread of travelers who walked here with hope in their hearts. The path curves gently ahead, inviting you not to hurry, not to reach its end quickly, but to savor the simple act of moving with awareness. You begin to walk slowly, allowing each step to land with intention, feeling the subtle firmness of the earth supporting you through every shift of weight. With each footfall, you sense the silent echo of your presence, soft, steady, and mindful. The world responds in kind. Leaves hush their rustling, the night breeze calms, and even the distant stream softens to a gentle murmur. Nothing rushes. Nothing pulls you forward or pushes you from behind. Instead, the forest seems to walk with you, matching your pace, step for quiet step. Your attention drops naturally into your body, noticing the rhythm of your movement. The heel touches first, then the arch, then the toes, a smooth, flowing sequence that grounds you more deeply into the present moment. The Buddha taught that mindful walking is a way of arriving in your own life, breath by breath, step by step. As you take each step, you understand this more clearly. You are not walking toward anything. You are simply walking, resting in the fullness of each moment as it unfolds. Ancient trees tower beside the path, their trunks broad and deeply textured. You run your fingertips along one as you pass, feeling grooves carved over centuries. The bark is cool, thick and steady, an anchor of life that has witnessed countless seasons. These trees do not haste, they do not strive. They grow with patience, with presence, with quiet resilience. Their stillness encourages your own, helping you settle more completely into the rhythm of your steps. As the path curves, moonlight pours through the branches above in thin, gentle streams. Silver beams illuminate patches of moss and fallen leaves, creating a mosaic of soft light and shadow. Your feet move through these shifting patterns, and you sense the world beneath you as a living, breathing companion. The more mindful your steps become, the lighter you feel, almost as if the earth lifts slightly to meet your foot before it touches down. Your breath and steps begin to synchronize. Inhale as one foot rises, exhale as the other settles. This gentle alignment quiets the mind even further. Worries that once felt heavy lose their substance, like mist dissolving under sunlight. Thoughts no longer crowd your awareness. They drift lightly at the edges, unable to disturb the stillness forming at your center. A soft stirring of wind moves between the ancient trunks, brushing your skin with cool tenderness. This whispering breeze carries the subtle scent of pine and earth, grounding you even more deeply in the present moment. You lift your gaze and notice how the canopy sways ever so slightly, its movements measured and graceful. Nothing in the forest moves without purpose, yet nothing strains. Even the wind knows how to be gentle. You continue walking, allowing yourself to become part of this gentle rhythm. The world feels spacious now, not because it has expanded, but because you have softened enough to feel its openness. Each step becomes a small act of kindness toward yourself, a promise to stay present, to release tension, to walk with tenderness. As you follow the curve of the path, a faint glow appears in the distance. It is subtle at first, like a candle seen through layers of leaves, but as you draw closer, the shape becomes clearer. Nestled beneath an arch of intertwined branches stands a small wooden shrine. Its surface is aged but lovingly cared for, carved with simple symbols of refuge and peace. A delicate offering bowl sits at its base, filled with petals carried by the wind. You approach slowly, sensing the humility and reverence held within this small structure. The shrine is not grand nor adorned with riches, yet its presence radiates a quiet, heartfelt devotion. You feel your breath deepen as you stand before it, recognizing that mindfulness has guided you here, not just the path beneath your feet. The wooden surface glows softly in the moonlight, revealing intricate lines etched by hands long gone. These markings speak of gratitude, of stillness, of the wish for all beings to find peace. You feel that wish rise within you as well, blossoming gently in your chest. Standing before the shrine, you bow your head slightly, not out of obligation, but in natural response to the serenity that emanates from this humble place. The offering bowl stirs in the wind, releasing a faint fragrance from the petals inside. As you breathe it in, your heart softens further, your mind becomes clear as still water, and a deeper sense of refuge begins to bloom within you, guiding your attention toward the path that leads beyond the shrine into the quiet place, where offerings become symbols of gratitude resting in silence. You stand before the small wooden shrine, its simplicity radiating a quiet reverence that feels older than the forest itself. The carvings along its surface are worn smooth by time, shaped not only by tools, but by the touch of countless hands, hands that once paused here seeking comfort, clarity, or gentle guidance. The air around the shrine is still, carrying the faint fragrance of petals that rest in the offering bowl below. They lie there without fanfare, without arrangement, yet somehow perfect in their quiet humility. You kneel slightly, not out of ritual, but because the stillness of this place invites a softer posture. As your eyes settle on the offerings, You realize that each petal represents someone's moment of sincerity, a small fragment of gratitude left behind like a whisper of the heart. You imagine travelers standing where you stand now, pausing after long days of walking, letting their intentions drift into the bowl just as gently as the petals drifted from the trees. In this shared gesture across time, you feel connected to lives you've never known, each one seeking peace, healing, or simply a moment to breathe. A breeze stirs, delicate and slow. The petals shift slightly, brushing one another with the faintest sound, like a sigh from the forest itself. You watch them move, feeling the essence of humility rise naturally within you. Offering does not need to be grand, the Buddha taught. It needs only to be sincere. Here, sincerity fills the air like soft incense, not burning but resting, subtle and steady. You feel that sincerity awakening quietly in your own chest. Your hand moves almost of its own accord, reaching gently toward the ground where a single pale petal has fallen beside your foot. You pick it up, noticing its fragile edges and the coolness of its surface. Holding it, you feel as though you are holding something that has traveled far, yet remained unburdened. You place the petal into the offering bowl, laying it among the others with the same care one might have in placing a thought into still water. It joins the collection effortlessly, becoming part of a wordless prayer made by many hearts. As you straighten, the shrine seems to glow faintly, not from any candle or flame, but from the simple presence of gratitude that fills this space. Gratitude, you realize, is not a feeling that must be earned or summoned. It arises naturally when the heart becomes quiet enough to notice what has supported it all along. You think of your breath, your steps, the forest, the wind, the teachings that have guided you to this moment. All of it arrives as a quiet gift, asking nothing in return. You sit for a moment longer, breathing with the shrine's stillness. With each inhale, you feel the presence of those who came before you. With each exhale, you release a gentle wish for those who will come after. You understand now that offerings are not about asking for anything. They are about giving shape to gratitude, about acknowledging that peace is woven from countless small gestures of care. The night deepens slightly, drawing shadows across the ground in soft, elongated shapes. Above you, the branches shift with slow grace, letting beams of moonlight fall across the shrine. The light touches the carvings and the bowl of petals, illuminating them in a pale golden hue. It feels as though the forest is blessing the space, holding it tenderly in quiet reverence. As you rise to your feet, your body feels lighter, as though placing that petal into the bowl also placed a weight from your heart into the open hands of the earth. You turn toward the path ahead, and that is when you see it, a soft golden glow emanating from between two tall trees, further along the forest trail. It is not bright like a lantern, nor flickering like a flame. Instead, it radiates a gentle, steady warmth, resembling the first light of dawn, glowing behind distant hills. The glow calls to you without urgency, inviting rather than summoning. It feels like the continuation of the offering you just made, an unspoken reminder that gratitude naturally leads to illumination. You take a slow breath, letting the sight of the golden radiance settle into your awareness, and feel a quiet anticipation stirring inside you. You step away from the shrine with a final, subtle bow of the head, not an act of ceremony but a gesture of appreciation for what this place has offered. The petals rustle softly in the bowl, as though acknowledging your departure with their delicate voice. Walking toward the golden light, you feel the forest shift around you once more. The air grows warmer, touched by the glow ahead, and the path curves gently through the trees as if guiding you toward the source of illumination. The light brightens with every step, soft and welcoming, ready to show you the next moment of peace waiting among the branches of the forest, where golden radiance filters through the trees. The soft golden glow strengthens as you step deeper into the forest, illuminating the path in gentle waves of warm radiance. It does not shine sharply or brightly. Instead, it glows with a comforting steadiness, like the quiet presence of wisdom that reveals itself only when the mind grows calm enough to receive it. The trees ahead seem to lean slightly inward, their tall trunks creating a natural archway through which this tender light flows. As you walk beneath their canopy, patches of shimmering gold drift across your skin and clothing, warming you as though the forest itself is laying a soothing hand upon your shoulder. The air feels different here, cleaner, clearer, almost luminous in itself. You inhale deeply and sense your chest expanding with ease, the breath moving through you as gently as the light moves between the branches. Every breath feels like a cleansing, washing away the remnants of doubt and confusion that may still linger in hidden corners of your mind. The Buddha taught that clarity often arrives not through effort, but through spaciousness. In this golden forest, spaciousness unfolds naturally, inviting you to let your thoughts settle and soften like dust drifting slowly to the ground. As you walk, beams of light filter through the treetops in long, quiet ribbons. They stretch across the path like delicate threads, woven from warmth and serenity. You step into one of these beams, and for a moment, the world falls utterly still. The warmth spreads through your body, dissolving tension in your shoulders, loosening the muscles along your neck, and resting gently in the center of your chest. You close your eyes and feel the glow reaching inward, illuminating places you rarely touch with awareness. Places where old fears, old stories, old hurts still linger. But the light does not force them away. It simply illuminates them, revealing their shapes with softness, showing you that even the most tangled thoughts lose their power when held in gentle awareness. You feel the truth of this radiance. Wisdom is not a sharp blade, but a compassionate lantern. It does not cut through the dark. It warms it until the shadows dissolve on their own. Opening your eyes again, you see the golden beams shifting with the breeze, dancing lightly across the forest floor. This movement feels like an invitation, an encouragement to let your heart move as freely as the light, to let your steps be guided not by fear or worry, but by quiet trust in the path unfolding before you. You walk forward with a renewed sense of peace, each footfall steady and unhurried, each breath spacious and full. The deeper you go, the brighter the forest becomes. The golden light gathers in soft pools around the bases of the trees, shimmering like small patches of sunlight collected and kept safe even in the night. You notice how the trees seem to glow from within, their bark illuminated by the reflection of this gentle radiance. For a moment, you imagine them as living pillars of wisdom, silent, ancient, compassionate guardians, who have watched generations of travelers come seeking the same peace that now begins to settle in your own heart. As you continue walking, the path widens, and the trees slowly give way to an open expanse where the golden light floods more freely. You step into this openness and feel your breath catch softly at the sight before you. The light cascades like a quiet waterfall through the branches overhead, bathing everything in a warm, serene glow. It feels as though the world itself is exhaling, letting go, expanding, resting. And you follow its lead with your next breath, releasing anything still clinging within you. You pause in the center of the clearing, letting the radiance wash over you. The warmth embraces you gently, not like sunlight, but like the presence of an old friend who sits beside you without needing to speak. Thoughts slow until they are simply impressions, passing through a quiet, illuminated mind. You sense the clarity that arises when awareness rests fully in the moment. The forest feels vast yet intimate, grand yet comforting, and the golden glow wraps around you like a soft cloak woven from peace itself. Then, through the shimmering light, you notice something new at the far edge of the clearing, a faint outline, soft and inviting. As the branches shift, you catch glimpses of a valley beyond, nestled quietly between gently sloping hills. The golden radiance spills into that valley, painting it in hues of serenity, so deep they seem to rise from the ground itself. Drawn by the beauty of the sight, you take a slow step toward the valley's entrance. The air cools slightly as you move, blending the warmth of the golden glow with the refreshing breeze drifting from below. It feels like an invitation to descend into a deeper stillness, where the next layer of peace awaits. With one last look at the luminous clearing behind you, you allow your feet to follow the soft golden path that leads downward, where still waters rest in the hidden valley just ahead. You step gently down the sloping path, and the golden glow softens as the forest opens into a wide, quiet valley. The air grows still, holding a coolness that settles lightly over your skin like a silken veil. Ahead, the landscape expands into a serene basin where the world seems to pause, as if holding its breath in peaceful anticipation. You move closer, and the sight before you begins to reveal itself. A tranquil lake resting at the valley's heart, its surface smooth as polished glass, reflecting the night sky in perfect clarity. The lake does not ripple, not even with the faintest disturbance. Stars shimmer upon its surface, appearing both above you and beneath you, creating the illusion of a universe doubled. As you approach the water's edge, your steps grow softer, instinctively gentler, as though you are entering sacred space. The entire valley feels wrapped in a quiet that reaches deeper than simple silence, an inner stillness that resonates through your chest and settles into the space behind your heart. You stand at the shoreline for a moment, letting the calm expand around you. The reflection of the night sky is so clear that you can hardly distinguish where the heavens end and the water begins. It feels as though you are standing at the threshold between worlds, the outer world, where sound and movement form your days, and the inner world, where everything rests in quiet equilibrium. In this stillness, the teaching of emptiness comes alive, not as void or absence, but as spaciousness, openness, potential. When you breathe in, the quiet enters you. When you breathe out, your thoughts drift outward, like small clouds breaking apart above an endless ocean. You feel a tenderness rise within, a gentle acceptance of whatever you have carried up to this moment. Nothing is rejected, nothing is judged. The surface of the lake accepts all reflections equally. The bright star, the faint cloud, the passing shadow. In this, you understand the Buddha's teaching that the mind, in its natural state, reflects without clinging. You kneel near the edge and dip your fingers into the cool water. The surface trembles slightly around your touch, sending soft ripples outward, each one widening into a delicate circle before dissolving into stillness again. The ripples teach their own quiet lesson. Even when the mind is disturbed, it naturally returns to calm when we do not interfere. You watch the water regain its perfect mirror-like state, feeling that same return happening inside you. A soft breeze drifts across the valley, carrying with it the faint scent of grass warmed earlier by the sun. The breeze brushes your face gently, as though encouraging you to look deeper into the lake. You lift your gaze, and something catches your attention. A subtle shimmer gliding across the surface, different from the reflections of stars. It stretches in a thin, luminous line, delicate but unmistakable, like a path formed of moonlight itself. You rise slowly, drawn toward this soft radiance. The moon above sits high in the sky, and its reflection appears to have elongated, stretching across the water in a glowing ribbon. It begins at your feet and extends far into the center of the lake, inviting yet serene. The light feels ancient, as though countless seekers before you have followed this same shimmering guide into deeper stillness. You take a slow step closer, feeling a sense of reverence settle upon you. The moonlit path is not physical. You cannot walk upon the water, yet it calls to you in a way that speaks to the inner journey rather than the outer one. It invites you to follow with your awareness, not your feet. You close your eyes, breathing deeply, and imagine yourself stepping onto that luminous pathway. The moment you do, a profound peace washes through you, spreading from your chest to your fingertips, from your spine to the crown of your head. With eyes still closed, you feel yourself moving inward, guided by the shimmering light. Each breath carries you deeper into the heart of stillness. The valley around you fades not into darkness, but into clarity, an openness where nothing is forced, where everything is allowed to exist in gentle harmony. You come to understand that still waters do not hold you back. They reflect your true nature, calm and unbounded. When you open your eyes again, the moonlit path glows brighter, as if acknowledging your readiness to continue. The lake remains perfectly still, offering its quiet wisdom with unwavering serenity. You feel lighter now, clearer, as though a soft layer of fog within you has lifted. The night above shines with renewed brilliance, and the valley seems to hum with a peaceful energy that settles deep into your bones. As you step back from the shoreline, breath steady and heart open, you notice the path beyond the lake beginning to take shape. Soft, silvered by moonlight, guiding your way upward through a misty trail toward the next part of your journey, where steps illuminated by moonlight await your gentle presence. You begin walking along the soft path that curves away from the still lake, your footsteps illuminated by the moon's silver glow. The air is cool and tender against your skin, holding the lingering quiet of the valley as though it wishes to protect your newfound calm. Each step brings a gentle shift in the earth beneath your feet, a reminder of your steady movement forward. Yet nothing feels hurried. The world around you has slowed into a serene rhythm, inviting your breath to follow with the same smooth cadence. Moonlight gathers along the path like a trail of pale blossoms scattered across the ground. The stones and soil beneath your feet reflect the soft glow, giving each step a sense of intention and presence. You feel as though you are walking not through a forest, but through a dream that has taken the shape of one, silent, peaceful, unfolding moment by moment without resistance. Your mind, once filled with small waves of thought, now stretches into spaciousness. Even your reflections glide gently, like feathers drifting along a quiet stream. The moon hangs full and radiant above you, its light filtering through the thinning canopy. Branches cast delicate shadows that sway with the faint breeze, forming shifting patterns on the ground ahead. As you watch these patterns, you notice how they resemble thoughts, forming, dissolving, reshaping, passing. Nothing stays fixed. Nothing clings. Even the thoughts that once felt heavy earlier in the day now move with ease, softened by the calm space you've begun to cultivate within. You inhale the cool night air, feeling it settle deeply into your lungs. There is a clarity in this breath, a brightness that seems to wash through you. Each exhale follows, with a subtle unwinding, as though invisible threads of tension gently unravel and fall behind you on the path. Your shoulders relax. Your jaw softens. The muscles around your eyes release their quiet holding. You begin to understand why the Buddha encouraged mindful walking, not as a chore, but as a way of letting the heart become spacious enough for peace to enter. As the path continues, the forest opens slightly, revealing glimpses of the mountains ahead. Their silhouettes rise like ancient guardians, softened by a delicate veil of mist that drifts slowly across their slopes. The sight carries a serene majesty, a reminder of the vastness beyond your thoughts and worries. You pause for a moment, letting your gaze settle on the outline of the mountain. Its presence is steady and unmoving, yet comforting, as though it has always known the weight of storms and the quiet after they pass. A gentle wind lifts and moves through the trees, brushing your skin as if encouraging you forward. The sound it carries is soft, almost melodic, as though the night itself is humming. You follow the path again, each step connecting you more deeply to the earth. The moonlit trail feels like a companion, each glowing patch guiding your footsteps into deeper stillness. As you walk, your awareness shifts inward. The outer world remains calm and supportive, but your attention begins to settle into the quiet space at the center of your chest. There, you feel a subtle warmth pulsing gently, steady as a quiet drumbeat. With each step, the warmth expands a little more, blossoming like a lotus opening petal by petal. You realize this warmth is not from the moon or the air. It is the calm rising within you, growing with every mindful movement. Your steps become lighter, almost floating across the path. The ground seems to welcome your touch, offering its support without effort. You feel gratitude for the simplicity of walking, for the way movement itself can be meditation when the heart is quiet. The world around you glows with a softness that feels both physical and symbolic, moonlight illuminating not just the path, but the inward journey you have begun. Ahead, the trees begin to thin, allowing more moonlight to spill onto the path. The mist from the mountains drifts toward you, cool and gentle, brushing your skin, like a benevolent hand guiding you to the next phase of your journey. The mist curls around your ankles, rising and swirling in delicate patterns before dispersing into the night. It carries no coldness of discomfort, only the refreshing calm that clears the mind and prepares the heart. As you draw closer to the base of the mountain, the moonlight brightens the trail ahead. The path tilts upward, welcoming you with a quiet promise of deeper perspective. The mountain looms taller now, its slopes softened by layers of silver mist that rise and fall with the breath of the night. You feel a sense of readiness, as though your steps have led you not to a challenge, but to a gentle invitation. You inhale once more, letting the mountain air expand into your chest, filling you with clarity and ease. And as you lift your gaze toward the ascending trail, you feel the presence of something waiting, ancient, steady, and compassionate, where the mountain stands wrapped in mist, calling you further along the path into its serene embrace. You begin your ascent along the mountain trail, the moonlight casting a soft silver glow upon the path ahead. As you climb, the mist thickens around you. First, a thin veil brushing your ankles, then rising in gentle waves that swirl around your legs and drift slowly upward. The mist does not obscure your way. Instead, it creates a quiet cocoon, softening the shapes of the world and inviting you to walk with deeper trust. Each breath you take mingles with the cool vapor, grounding you in the present moment as you move step by deliberate step. The mountain stands tall above you, but within this mist, its vastness feels less imposing. Instead of looming, it embraces, its slopes offering the sense of a patient guardian watching over your slow, mindful ascent. The mist moves in fluid patterns, curling and unfurling like thoughts drifting through the mind. Some shapes form briefly before dissolving. Others linger only long enough to evoke a fleeting impression. As you watch them dance, you realize how closely they mirror your own inner world. Fear, uncertainty, confusion, all rise like mist in the mind. Yet when observed with gentle awareness, they soften, shift, and disperse. The Buddha taught that fear loses its strength when it is met with a calm and steady gaze. You feel this teaching unfolding around you now. The mist contains no threat. It simply exists. Cool, tender, shifting, And as you walk through it, you understand that you can walk through your inner mist with the same ease. The unknown is not something to guard against. It is something to meet with openness. You pause to steady your breath, placing a hand lightly against a nearby rock. The stone is cool beneath your palm, its surface textured with the slow artistry of time. You feel its solidity, its grounded presence, and allow that steadiness to flow into your own body. The mist swirls around your hand, but the rock remains unmoved, just as the grounded awareness within you remains present even as thoughts pass through. This simple touch reminds you that beneath the shifting mist of the mind, there is always something steady, something clear. As you continue your climb, the path narrows, guided by small stones embedded in the earth. The mist thickens briefly, wrapping you in a soft white glow. Visibility narrows, but instead of worrying about what you cannot see, you shift your focus to what you can feel. The firm contact of your feet with the ground, the rise and fall of your breath, the cool brush of mist upon your face. These sensations anchor you, showing you that grounding does not come from seeing the entire path, but from trusting each step you take. The air becomes cooler as you climb higher, carrying the faint scent of pine and damp earth. You draw the fragrance into your lungs, feeling your chest expand with its crisp purity. The breath clears your mind further, dissolving any lingering tension. Even the rhythm of your steps begins to feel like a silent meditation. Each footfall a reminder that peace is found in presence, not in certainty. A gentle shift in the wind brings movement to the mist. It drifts upward in swirls, revealing brief glimpses of the mountain's rugged stone and patches of moss that cling faithfully to its surface. Through these small openings, you catch sight of the slope rising before you. Though the view is incomplete, it feels encouraging, as though the mountain is revealing itself just enough to reassure you. You begin to sense the quiet companionship of the Buddha's presence, subtle, peaceful, yet unmistakably steady, walking with you through the mist. You press onward, your heart opening to the possibility that the unknown can be tender, even beautiful. As you continue climbing, the mist begins to thin. First gradually, then more noticeably, the air grows clearer. The trail becomes more visible beneath your feet, the shapes of rocks and roots sharpening into gentle clarity. You feel the growing sense that something lies ahead, not hidden, but waiting patiently for you to reach it in your own time. Soon, the mist parts more fully, and through its thinning veil, a warm glow emerges. At first it appears as a soft amber hue, flickering gently, like light reflecting off wood. As you draw closer, the shape becomes clearer. A small hermitage nestled against the mountainside, its wooden walls illuminated by the steady glow of a lantern hanging near its entrance. The structure looks humble yet inviting, a place shaped by quiet hands and steady hearts. The mist continues to lift as you approach the hermitage, revealing more details. The smooth stones that form its foundation, the carved wooden beams adorned with simple symbols of refuge, the gentle slope of its roof catching the moonlight. A sense of deep peace settles over you, as though this place has long served as a shelter for weary travelers seeking rest along their journey. You pause before the entrance, feeling the warmth of the lantern's glow brush lightly against your skin. The hermitage seems to breathe with its own stillness, inviting you to step into a space where deeper refuge awaits. You take one more soft inhale of the mountain air, then step forward toward the quiet doorway, where inner refuge awaits in the sanctuary of the mountain's heart. You step across the small threshold of the hermitage, and at once the air inside feels warmer, as though the walls themselves have absorbed years of quiet breaths. gentle prayers, and unspoken gratitude. The interior is simple, shaped by hands that valued usefulness over ornament, stillness over display. Smooth wooden beams support the ceiling, their grains illuminated by the soft glow of a single lantern hanging near the center of the room. The scent of cedar and aged timber calms your senses instantly, wrapping around you like a warm cloak laid across your shoulders. Your eyes adjust to the soft light, revealing the quiet beauty of the space. There is little here: a small wooden table, a cushion worn smooth by countless moments of meditation, and a low shelf holding a few carefully placed objects: an empty bowl, a folded cloth, and a piece of polished stone. Nothing is excessive. Everything holds meaning. The hermitage radiates the clarity that comes from living with intention, showing that refuge is found not in abundance, but in presence. As you move further inside, you notice carvings along the wooden walls. They are subtle, etched with patient hands. Some lines deep and steady, others soft, as though traced by delicate fingertips. You step closer, letting your hands hover above the engravings without touching them. The carvings depict simple phrases, teachings distilled into gentle reminders. Return to the breath. Rest in awareness. Stillness shelters the heart. Their presence feels like whispers from past practitioners who found solace here. You run your fingers lightly along one inscription, feeling the texture of the wood beneath your touch. Its message, "You are already held," settles into you with unexpected tenderness. You realize that inner refuge is not something you must earn or construct. It exists within you already, waiting patiently beneath layers of tension, expectation, and thought. A sense of release moves through you, like a soft exhale after holding your breath for far too long. You sit down on the meditation cushion, its fabric warm from the lantern's glow. The moment your body settles, a profound stillness gathers around you. Silence fills the space, not empty, but full, rich with the presence of all who have sat here before. You close your eyes and feel the gentle weight of the moment. The rhythm of your breath becomes clearer. Inhale, quiet expansion. Exhale, soft release. The body grows lighter, the mind gentler. Thoughts begin to float up, as they naturally do. But instead of chasing them or pushing them aside, you allow them to drift through your awareness, like small clouds passing across a vast sky. Each one appears, shifts, and dissolves without pulling at your attention. You sit within the calm expanse behind them, a place untouched by worry or noise. Here, in this humble hermitage, you experience the essence of refuge, not escape, but clarity, not withdrawal, but awakening. A soft stirring draws your attention. The lantern's flame flickers delicately, casting moving shadows along the walls. One shadow stretches toward the far side of the hermitage where a small wooden door stands slightly ajar. The door is simple, unadorned, blending almost seamlessly into the wall, except for the faint engraving above it. The way continues. You rise gently from the cushion, feeling a quiet strength in your body as though the stillness has settled into your bones. You walk toward the door, your hand brushing its smooth surface. The wood is warm, as though it has been absorbing the lantern's glow for hours. You push it open slowly, and cool mountain air drifts inside, carrying with it the scents of pine, stone, and open sky. Stepping into the doorway, you glance back inside the hermitage. The lantern glows softly on the cushion where you sat, illuminating the carvings and the quiet treasures placed upon the shelf. You feel gratitude for this space, for its teachings, its stillness, its gentle reminders. It has shown you that refuge is not a place outside yourself, but a quality within, ready to be summoned whenever you turn toward your breath with quiet presence. You look out into the night. The mist has lifted higher along the mountain, revealing a narrow ascending path that winds upward into the starlit landscape. The path looks steep in places but welcoming. A path built for those who walk, not with haste, but with intention and openness. Moonlight spills across the stones, turning them silver and marking the way with soft radiance. With one final breath inside the hermitage, you step out into the open air. The cool night embraces you, carrying with it the promise that the refuge you discovered within these wooden walls will remain with you, no matter where the journey leads. Ahead, the mountain rises beneath the vast starlit sky, inviting you onward to climb with lightness toward heights touched by clarity and quiet wonder, where the peak waits gently above the world. You begin the ascent with a quiet sense of assurance, the refuge found within the hermitage still glowing softly in your chest. The cool mountain air wraps gently around you, clearing the remnants of heaviness from your mind and refreshing your breath with each inhalation. The path ahead rises steadily, composed of smooth stones and gentle curves shaped by years of wind and quiet passage. As you take your first steps upward, the night sky widens before you, revealing a tapestry of stars scattered like shimmering grains of salt across a vast, dark canvas. Each step feels lighter than the last, as though the stillness you cultivated within now lifts your body from the inside. Your legs move with quiet determination, steady and unhurried. In the distance, the mountain murmurs softly beneath the wind, a low, continuous hum that resonates in your bones, guiding you upward with its serene presence. The higher you climb, the more expansive the world feels, spreading open around you like a great unfolding breath. The stars above shine with a clarity you have not seen before. Unobstructed by mist or trees, they glimmer with sharp brilliance, each one a tiny point of unwavering light. You pause for a moment to look upward, letting the celestial brilliance settle into your awareness. The stars remind you of the clarity that arises when the mind is spacious and still. They shine effortlessly, without pushing or striving, simply expressing their nature. Their calm radiance offers a quiet blessing as you continue along the ascending path. The trail narrows slightly, weaving between tall stone outcrops that rise like guardians carved from the mountain itself. Their surfaces are cool to the touch as you brush your fingers along them while passing. These stones have weathered countless years of wind and rain, yet they stand steady, shaped not by resistance, but by surrender to the natural flow of time. Their presence teaches you again that strength is found in gentleness, in allowing, in yielding without breaking. As you climb higher, the landscape begins to transform. The air grows thinner, crisper, carrying the faint scent of alpine plants rooted deep in rocky soil. The wind moves differently here, more freely, more openly, whispering through the mountain crevices with a voice that seems ancient and wise. You listen closely, feeling as though the wind is speaking not to your ears, but to the deeper spaces of your heart. Your breath becomes slower, deeper. With each inhalation, you draw in the purity of the mountainside. With each exhalation, you release whatever weight still lingers within you. The effort of climbing no longer feels like strain, but like a form of devotion, a quiet offering of presence to the path beneath your feet. Step by step, you move toward clarity. Step by step, you rise into a space where the world feels simple, open, and kind. After some time, the path leads you toward a long slope where the mountain opens into a wide plateau. The wind quiets as you approach, as though giving space for a deeper silence to take its place. You step onto the plateau and feel the vastness of the world spread around you. The sky appears fuller, the stars closer, the moon brighter. Everything feels more immediate, more alive. You walk toward the edge of the plateau, where a smooth stone ledge overlooks the land below. The view steals your breath, not with intensity, but with its quiet, breathtaking expanse. Valleys stretch like dark, gentle waves beneath you, and distant hills rise softly against the night horizon. The world lies in a serene stillness, wrapped in moonlight and starlight, holding the beauty of silence in its vast embrace. Standing on the ledge, you feel as though you are suspended between earth and sky, between the solidity of the mountain and the infinite expanse of the heavens. A deep sense of clarity awakens within you, bright, gentle, and steady. It is the clarity that comes from seeing the world not through the lens of burden or worry, but through the simplicity of presence. Nothing is demanded of you here. Nothing is expected. You are free to stand, to breathe, to witness. The wind lifts again, brushing your skin with cool tenderness. It feels like the mountain's gentle reminder that life continues to move, even in stillness. You sense another presence in that wind, an invitation to look not only outward at the vast world, but inward into the spaciousness of your own mind. The ledge becomes a meeting point between these two worlds, the outer landscape of stars and valleys, and the inner landscape of awareness and peace. You remain there for a few breaths longer, letting the starlit view imprint itself upon your heart. The clarity within you brightens, reflecting the brilliance of the sky above. And as you turn from the ledge to continue along the path, you notice a faint glow in the distance, coming from the mouth of a hidden cave nestled along the mountainside, its quiet presence calling you onward into a deeper encounter with the wisdom held in the mountain's heart. You stand upon the stone ledge, the enormous sweep of the world unfolding beneath you in serene, shadowed waves. Valleys deepen into soft darkness, hills rise like gentle breaths of the earth, and distant ridgelines stretch outward until they dissolve into the horizon. The moon paints every contour with a faint silver glow, revealing the quiet beauty of a world that no longer rushes or demands. In this vast stillness, you feel something inside you begin to loosen, as though the spaciousness before your eyes opens a matching spaciousness within your chest. The breeze that rises from below is cool and steady. It touches your skin lightly, carrying faint scents of pine, stone, and distant earth warmed earlier by the sun. This breeze feels like a continuation of the clarity you have cultivated, subtle, gentle, yet powerful enough to guide your thoughts into soft surrender. You breathe deeply, and your breath mingles with the wind as though the mountain itself exhales through you. Each inhalation fills you with the vast sky. Each exhalation releases whatever still clings to the edges of your heart. From this higher vantage, problems that felt heavy earlier in your journey appear small, still real, still deserving of care, but no longer overwhelming. The paths winding through the valleys below appear delicate and interconnected, like threads in a tapestry whose full picture can only be seen from above. You begin to understand the Buddha's teaching on perspective, that suffering often expands when we view it up close, and softens when we step back far enough to see its place within a much larger whole. You close your eyes and feel the immensity of space above you. The stars shimmer with quiet brightness, forming patterns older than memory, older than time. Their light reaches you from unimaginable distances, yet it arrives here with perfect gentleness, touching your skin as lightly as dust. The sky feels endless, boundless, free from all obstacles and expectations. When you open your eyes again, that same sense of boundlessness remains within you, an inner sky expanding quietly behind your thoughts. Your attention drifts once more to the world below. You notice how still it feels. No voices, no movement, no rush of sound, only the whisper of the wind and the silent glow of moonlight over stone and earth. You realize that the world, even at its busiest, contains pockets of deep quiet like this. places where stillness waits patiently, ready to shelter you whenever you choose to pause. Standing here, you understand more deeply that peace is not something you must create. It is something you must remember. You take another slow breath, feeling your feet firmly on the stone. The mountain supports you fully, without condition. You feel grounded and open at the same time, rooted like the earth, spacious like the sky. This balance awakens a subtle wisdom within you, the recognition that you can live with both firmness and softness, both clarity and compassion, both grounded presence and open awareness. You feel these qualities rising within you now, blending gently like colors meeting in a watercolor sky. As you gaze outward, you notice something subtle, a warm glow flickering faintly along the mountainside, lower than the ledge but not too far from your trail. It appears only intermittently, revealed when the breeze lifts the mist away from that part of the slope. The light is soft and amber, like fire seen through cupped hands. It doesn't pulse loudly or urgently. Instead, it shines with a quiet persistence, as though waiting for you to notice it in your own time. You turn your head slightly, aligning your eyes with the source of the glow. As the mist parts once more, you see it clearly. A small opening in the mountain, a hidden cave, whose entrance is gently illuminated by lantern light. The sight stirs a subtle curiosity within you, not a restless longing, but a peaceful pull, as though the mountain itself is offering you a deeper refuge, a deeper teaching, a deeper quiet. You step back from the ledge, taking one last look at the vast world below. You feel gratitude rise within you. From the view, from the sky, from the stillness that has settled warmly into your body. The world appears unchanged, yet you feel changed within it, softened and expanded in ways that will continue to unfold with each breath. Turning toward the faint glow on the mountainside, you begin to follow the gentle downward curve of the trail. The air cools around you, and the mist thickens just enough to guide you inward rather than outward. Each step brings you closer to the warm amber light, closer to the hidden entrance carved naturally by time and patience, where ancient echoes wait within the cave of remembered wisdom. You approach the cave's entrance slowly, drawn by the soft amber glow that spills across the ground in gentle waves. The opening is shaped by time itself, no straight lines, no sharp angles, only smooth curves where stone has yielded over centuries to wind, water, and silence. As you step closer, the air cools noticeably, carrying with it the faint scent of mineral earth and ancient stillness. You pause at the threshold, sensing that this place holds memories older than any story, older than any footsteps that have come before you. Crossing into the cave, the world grows hushed. Sounds from outside, wind, leaves, distant night whispers, fade into a deep, embracing quiet. The lantern near the entrance casts a warm glow across the first chamber, illuminating textured walls that shimmer faintly with mineral reflections. You move deeper inside, your footsteps softened by the sand-like dust that covers the stone floor. With each step, you feel as though you are walking not just through a physical space, but through layers of time, through echoes of lives that sought understanding long before your journey began. The lantern light wavers gently behind you as you continue forward. The cave opens into a wider expanse where the air feels dense with an almost sacred tranquility. You stand still for a moment, letting the profound quiet settle over your skin like a cool cloak. In this silence, you begin to sense something subtle, a vibration, almost inaudible, like the faint hum of a distant chant resonating through the stone. It is not loud enough to distinguish words, yet it carries meaning clear as still water. A reminder that wisdom is never lost, it simply waits to be remembered. Your breath deepens naturally, and with each inhale, the cave seems to expand inside you. With each exhale, your thoughts dissolve more fully, into the soft darkness. You feel the weight of your body resting gently on the earth, yet inside you there is a growing lightness, as though the cave were drawing out the heaviness you have carried. The Buddha's teachings rise quietly in your mind, not as recited phrases, but as sensations, feelings, truths woven into the fabric of your awareness. As you explore the chamber, your fingers brush along the stone wall. It is cool and smooth, carved by centuries of quiet elements, shaping it with infinite patience. Small etchings, barely visible, mark the walls in places. They are not drawings or decorations, but simple strokes, reminders left by seekers who once came here to meditate. You sense their presence not as ghosts, but as gentle companions who walked their own paths with sincerity, leaving traces of their devotion behind. You sit near the center of the chamber, where the ground dips slightly, forming a natural seat shaped by time. When you settle onto the stone, your spine aligns effortlessly, and the cave's stillness begins to resonate through you like a tuning fork. The wisdom stored here does not come as thoughts. It rises as spaciousness, as clarity, as a calm that reaches deeper than language. You close your eyes and allow the cave's silence to lead you inward. Images drift gently through your awareness. The still lake, the golden forest light, the chanting carried on, the wind, the hermitage carved from wood and quiet devotion. Each one returns like a memory not of what you saw, but of who you were becoming as you moved through each space. These reflections settle into your heart like soft petals, forming a quiet understanding that every step you have taken has been guided not by impulse or chance, but by a wisdom already within you. The subtle hum within the cave grows slightly more distinct, vibrating through the stone floor beneath you and rising through your legs into your chest. It feels like the echo of ancient meditation, countless breaths layered upon one another, turning the cave into a living memory of awakening. You rest within that resonance, knowing that even without words, the message is clear. You already carry what you seek. Peace is not found outside, it is remembered inside. When you open your eyes again, your gaze is drawn toward the far side of the chamber. There, partially hidden in shadow, lies a narrow opening. The warm glow you noticed earlier flickers softly from within it, subtler than the lantern behind you, yet steady, as though lit by something deeper than flame. The passage is small enough that you must bow slightly to enter, and its simplicity feels intentional, like a reminder that humility leads the way to deeper understanding. You rise slowly from your resting place, feeling a new steadiness in your steps. The echo of remembered wisdom continues to vibrate softly within your chest, no longer separate from your heartbeat. As you walk toward the hidden passage, the cave seems to breathe with you, expanding gently as though acknowledging your readiness to move on. Standing before the narrow opening, you place your hand lightly on the warm stone beside it. The glow from beyond brushes your face with tender warmth, guiding you forward. You lower your head slightly and step into the passage, where deeper teachings await in the chamber ahead, illuminated by the hidden flame that burns with timeless compassion. You bow slightly as you step into the narrow stone passage, the warm glow ahead, drawing you deeper into the mountain's quiet heart. The walls close gently around you, not in a way that confines, but in a way that calms, guiding your awareness inward. The air here is warmer, infused with the faint scent of mineral dust and something softer, like the lingering fragrance of incense burned long ago. Each step echoes lightly beneath your feet, the sound absorbed almost immediately into the thick, living silence that fills the passage. As you walk forward, the ceiling slopes lower, encouraging you to move more slowly, more deliberately. You feel your breath soften, matching the hush that surrounds you. The world outside the cave recedes entirely. No distant wind, no rustling leaves, no murmuring stream. Only the rhythm of your breath remains, steady and clear in the darkness. Inhale, expanding gently. Exhale, releasing without effort. With each breath, you feel yourself sinking more deeply into a peace that is not dependent on vision or sound, but on presence alone. The stone walls around you seem to hum with a subtle vibration, like the resonance of a great sigh held across centuries. It is not sound, but sensation, a quiet reminder that silence is not emptiness, but fullness, a space rich with possibility. As you rest your fingertips lightly against the wall, the stone feels almost warm, as if carrying the memory of all those who once touched it with reverence. You sense that this passage has been walked before by many, who sought the same gentle clarity now unfolding within you. Your shoulders relax, the muscles along your neck soften, and even the small tensions behind your eyes begin to loosen. The passage grows dimmer as you continue, but the glow ahead remains steady, serving as a small beacon that guides without urgency. You realize that the deeper you move into the heart of silence, the more your mind lets go of its constant reaching. Thoughts drift in occasionally, small fragments of memory, quiet questions, fleeting impressions, but they dissolve almost instantly, unable to cling to the smooth surface of this silent space. You take another slow step, and the sound of your footfall becomes nearly imperceptible. The air grows denser, as though infused with stillness itself. This inner quiet begins to mirror something deep within your awareness, a silence that has always existed beneath the layers of noise, waiting patiently for you to remember it. The Buddha taught that true peace arises not from escaping the world, but from discovering the stillness at the center of one's being. Here, in this narrow passage, that teaching begins to feel real and alive. The warm light ahead shifts slightly, flickering with a rhythm almost like a heartbeat. You follow it with soft steps, letting your breath guide the movement of your body. Soon, the passage widens just enough for you to straighten your posture. The ceiling lifts slowly, allowing space to breathe more fully. The glow brightens as you move closer, casting faint golden reflections along the stone walls. Those reflections shimmer like water in candlelight, creating the illusion of gentle movement where everything remains still. Your footsteps lead you toward an opening where the glow becomes more pronounced. The narrow hallway gradually expands into a rounded entrance, the stone smoothed naturally into a graceful archway. The light spills softly across the threshold, inviting you forward. Before stepping through, you pause and place your palm against the wall beside you. The stone is warm, steady, reassuring. You close your eyes for a moment, breathing into the silence, letting it permeate every fiber of your being. In this pause, the world falls utterly quiet inside you. No striving, no seeking, no effort. Only spacious awareness, soft and open as the night sky. You feel the gentle pulse of your heartbeat, echoing within that vastness, steady and calm. It becomes clear that this silence is not something you entered. It is something you uncovered, something that has always rested beneath the surface of your thoughts. With a final slow breath, you let your hand fall back to your side and open your eyes. The chamber ahead glows with warm, welcoming light, its shape just beginning to reveal itself beyond the archway. You feel no rush to see what lies within. Instead, a quiet sense of readiness rises in your chest, spreading outward like a soft flame. The heart of silence has opened, and your steps now move not from curiosity alone, but from trust. Trust in the journey, trust in the stillness, trust in the wisdom that waits patiently to be met. You step through the archway into the luminous chamber beyond, where the heart of the mountain unfolds into a sanctuary of light and presence, inviting you into the next depth of awakening that awaits just ahead. You step into the chamber, and the warmth that greets you feels unlike anything you have encountered on this journey, gentle, embracing, and full, as though the mountain itself were welcoming you into its quiet heart. The space is larger than you expected, carved naturally into a smooth, domed shape. Soft amber light fills the room, radiating from no single point but spreading evenly throughout the chamber, as if the stone itself glows with a serene inner fire. The air is warmer here, carrying a subtle fragrance of earth and faint sweetness, like distant blossoms, drifting on a summer breeze. As you take a few slow steps forward, your feet sink slightly into the soft sand that carpets the ground. Each footfall is silent, leaving a delicate imprint that mirrors the softness rising within your own awareness. The chamber feels alive, not with sound or movement, but with a profound stillness that hums just beneath perception. You pause, letting your breath settle into the stillness, and it meets you like a calm lake meeting the sky. You lower yourself to the ground, letting your body rest in a comfortable seat. The sand beneath you conforms gently to your form, offering support without pressure. Around you, the golden light flickers with slow, rhythmic pulses, as though breathing with the chamber, as though breathing with you. In this quiet harmony, your mind begins to soften even further, thoughts falling away like petals loosening naturally from their blooms. Here in the mountain's heart, the teachings arise almost effortlessly. They do not come as words spoken aloud, nor as concepts you must recall or analyze. Instead, they arrive the way mist rises from still water, organically, quietly, naturally. You become aware of the truth of non-attachment in a deeper way than before, not as an instruction, not as a rule, but as a gentle insight, that clinging tightens the heart, while letting go opens it. You feel this truth spreading through your chest, releasing knots you didn't realize had formed. You rest your palms on your knees, feeling the warmth from the chamber seep into your skin. As your mind grows clearer, you see memories drift through your awareness, moments from your day, worries that once felt sharp, expectations you carried without noticing. But here, in the presence of such profound stillness, each memory loses its weight. They pass before you, soft and insubstantial as wisps of smoke. You watch them drift away, dissolving into the calm air. Non-attachment reveals itself, not as distance, but as compassion, an understanding that everything arises, changes, and fades. You realize you do not need to resist the flow, nor grip what is already moving on. You feel yourself loosening into this truth, settling into a quiet trust that life can be met with openness rather than tension. A warmth gathers in your chest, expanding outward like a candle flame growing into a gentle sun. You breathe deeply, feeling your body respond with quiet gratitude. The muscles along your back soften. Your jaw unclenches. Your fingers relax. There is nothing to do here, nothing to accomplish. The chamber offers sanctuary, not through grandeur, but through simplicity. Its silence mirrors your own potential for peace, reminding you that clarity arises when space is given for it to unfold. Time passes softly here. Minutes feel like moments. Moments feel like small eternities of calm. You feel as though you have entered a place between breaths, a pause in which the entire world rests with you. In that pause, the chamber itself seems to shift subtly. A soft glow brightens along the far curve of the stone wall, forming a faint outline you had not noticed before. You blink gently, allowing your eyes to adjust. The glow slowly gathers into a distinct shape, a doorway of pale, luminous light. It does not push against the darkness. It simply opens within it, like a moon rising behind thin clouds. The doorway radiates quiet warmth and carries the promise of deeper clarity ahead. It feels less like an escape and more like an invitation, a continuation of the peace you have discovered here. You rise slowly from the sand, brushing your palms lightly against your legs. Your body feels rested, refreshed, standing more naturally than before. The teachings that unfolded in this chamber settle gently into your heart, not as fragile insights, but as lived truths, soft, steady, and ready to carry forward with you. Taking a slow step toward the doorway of light, you feel the chamber expand behind you as though blessing your movement. A soft warmth at your back encourages you forward. You breathe in the stillness one last time, letting it fill the deepest corners of your awareness. And as you step closer to the glowing doorway, you sense the presence of something serene awaiting beyond it. An even quieter realm, where clarity deepens, and the path continues its gentle unfolding into the next chapter of this peaceful night. You approach the glowing doorway with slow, mindful steps, your breath steady and open. The light that forms its outline shimmers gently, neither blinding nor harsh, just a soft, radiant invitation that seems to welcome your presence. As you stand before it, you feel a subtle warmth rising from the threshold, like the gentle heat of sunlight reflected on still water. You breathe in deeply, letting that warmth settle into your chest, filling you with quiet courage and peaceful curiosity. You lift a foot and step forward. The moment you cross the threshold, the world shifts, not abruptly but delicately, as though a thin veil has been lifted from your senses. The light envelops you fully now, surrounding your body in a cocoon of gold and white radiance. It has weight, but not heaviness, presence, but not pressure. It feels like stepping into the memory of compassion itself, a space woven from kindness, patience, and clarity. The light grows brighter around you, yet your eyes feel no strain. Instead, your whole being relaxes into its illumination. Every breath becomes easier, drifting through your lungs with soft expansion, as though the air itself is made of serenity. Thoughts that once lingered at the edges of your awareness dissolve peacefully, like drops of ink vanishing into a clear stream. You feel lighter, freer, unburdened by the fragments of worry or expectation that once clung to your mind. Inside the radiance, you sense a gentle spaciousness, wide and welcoming. The boundaries of your body begin to soften, not disappearing, but blending naturally with the light around you. It feels as if the world is expanding through you rather than around you, as though the luminous space is gently reminding you that awareness itself is boundless. Fear has no foothold here. Confusion has no shape. Only calm, warm presence remains. There is no path beneath your feet in this glowing expanse. Yet you know exactly how to move. You walk slowly, guided not by sight, but by intuitive ease, the same way one walks through a familiar dream. Each step feels like walking through soft, warm mist. The radiance responds to your motion, brightening slightly with each inhale, softening gently with each exhale. It is a living light, breathing with you, listening to you. Though the space around you shines brightly, you begin to notice subtle shifts in color. Gold softens into pale amber. Amber cools into hues of rose and ivory. The light feels like dawn in slow motion, unfolding with infinite patience. As you continue moving, the colors swirl gently around you, never chaotic, but flowing in smooth, harmonious waves. You feel held in their softness, carried by their grace. You close your eyes for a moment, sensing the light filtering through your lids as a warm glow. Inside that glow, a recognition blooms. This radiance is not separate from you. It is the same inner clarity you have touched throughout your journey. The calm that surfaced by the lake, the compassion awakened by the lantern, the humility felt at the shrine, the stillness remembered in the cave. Here, all of it gathers into one bright, gentle truth. When you open your eyes again, something begins to take shape within the radiance. At first, the light thins slightly, revealing soft outlines. You continue walking, and the outlines grow clearer. You begin to see the faint suggestion of leaves, drifting slowly like golden flakes suspended in air. Then the glow dims just enough for the world ahead to reveal itself fully. You step forward, and the radiance settles behind you like a curtain of shimmering mist. Before you lies a grove, a sanctuary of luminous trees whose branches glow softly with inner light. Their leaves shimmer in shades of pale gold and silver, rustling in a breeze so gentle it feels more like breath than wind. The ground beneath them is covered in a carpet of soft grass that gleams faintly, each blade reflecting the quiet glow above. You pause at the edge of this sacred grove, allowing the sight to settle into your heart. The grove feels alive with peace, vibrant though utterly calm, as though every tree has been nourished by centuries of silent wisdom. The radiance you walked through now hangs delicately behind you, forming an arch of light at the grove's entrance, like a reminder of the clarity you carry within. You take a slow step into the grove. The ground receives your foot with softness. The branches sway gently, as if acknowledging your presence. A warm breeze drifts past, carrying with it the faintest sound, something musical, subtle, and deeply comforting. You close your eyes once more, letting the grove's atmosphere surround you completely. When you open your eyes again, you notice a faint trail winding deeper into the grove, illuminated by the soft glow of floating motes of light drifting lazily in the air. The trail seems to beckon you with quiet compassion, inviting you to explore the heart of this luminous sanctuary, where the teachings of peace grow like ancient roots, waiting to be discovered. You step fully into the grove, and at once the air changes, growing warmer, gentler, touched by an almost imperceptible sweetness. The soft glow from the trees deepens in tone, radiating a warmth that feels less like light and more like presence, as though compassion itself fills the space between every leaf and branch. The grove seems to breathe with you, expanding subtly with each inhale and softening with each exhale. This place feels alive in a way that goes beyond movement or sound. It feels aware, attentive, as though it has been waiting to hold you in its quiet embrace. The trees rise around you in graceful arcs, their trunks smooth and pale, their branches woven together in elegant patterns that shelter the grove without shutting out the sky. Each leaf carries a faint luminescence, soft golds, pale silvers, and delicate rose hues that shimmer gently when touched by the breeze. The air beneath their canopy is warm enough to soothe, cool enough to refresh, holding you in a perfect balance that invites your body to relax even further. You walk slowly across the grass, and it cushions your steps with a softness that feels almost like walking on a bed of down. Each blade glows faintly beneath your feet, creating tiny halos of pale light with every step you take. You feel an immediate sense of safety here, not from walls or barriers, but from a deep, enveloping kindness that seems to flow outward from the grove itself. It wraps around your shoulders like a gentle shawl, easing tension you didn't realize you were still holding. As you pause beneath one of the luminous trees, you reach out and let your fingertips brush the surface of its trunk. The wood is warm, not merely warm from the air, but warm from within, as though the tree carries its own quiet heartbeat. The moment your fingers make contact, a soft wave of calm travels through your arm, across your chest, and into your breath. Your shoulders loosen. Your breath deepens. A feeling of acceptance rises within you, unbidden and complete. The grove holds no judgment. It holds no demands. It simply reflects back to you the truth that you are worthy of rest, worthy of compassion, worthy of being gently held. You feel the weight of unspoken worries soften as they rise to the surface of your awareness, not to overwhelm you, but to be acknowledged with tenderness. The Buddha taught that compassion begins with seeing clearly, and here, the grove helps you to see with softness. You walk deeper among the trees, noticing how their luminous leaves sway with slow, graceful movements. When the breeze flows through them, the grove fills with a soft chiming sound, as though the leaves have been crafted from delicate bells. The sound is subtle, almost musical, and it washes over you with the same soothing effect as a lullaby, whispered to a weary heart. You pause to listen, allowing the gentle tones to settle into the spaces of your mind that once held tension. A sense of interconnectedness rises within you, not as a thought, but as a feeling. You sense that the warmth in the trees is the same warmth that lives in your own breath. The light glowing in the leaves mirrors the light that flickers quietly within your chest. You realize that compassion is not something external to be sought. It is already present within you, waiting to be remembered. The grove simply makes it easier to feel. You continue forward until the trees open into a small clearing at the grove's center. Here, the light is brighter, pooling on the ground like warm moonlight gathered in a bowl. The air is perfectly still, holding the moment as though wanting to prolong your peace. In the center of this clearing lies a smooth stone slab, low to the ground, its surface glowing faintly with a soft inner radiance. It resembles an altar, but not one meant for offerings. Instead, it feels like a resting place, a place for reflection, a place for quiet appreciation. You sit on the edge of the stone, and its warmth spreads through your body. Instantly, it cradles your weight as gently as the earth itself. You close your eyes and breathe deeply, letting the grove surround you fully. Compassion rises within you like warm water filling a vessel. It expands into your chest, down your arms, along your spine. You feel a sense of being supported, not by any one thing, but by everything around you. The grove seems to hum softly now, the sound resonating with your heartbeat. It is as though the entire space is breathing with you, guiding you toward a deeper openness. You rest in that openness, allowing whatever emotions surface to be held by the grove's gentle presence. There is no need to push anything away. There is no need to reach for anything else. Compassion meets every part of you exactly as you are. When you open your eyes again, the shimmering light guides your gaze toward a small path leading out of the clearing. It is subtle, formed by the way the grass bends slightly under an unseen current of wind. The path sparkles softly, illuminated by drifting motes of golden light floating just above it. Their glow invites you onward, not away from compassion, but deeper into its living expression that awaits in the tranquil meadow beyond the grove. You follow the softly shimmering path out of the grove, guided by the gentle drift of golden motes floating in the air like some small blessings, carried on an unseen breeze. As you walk, the glow around you begins to shift, less like lantern light now, more like the warm radiance of dawn preparing to rise, even though night still blankets the sky. Your steps feel lighter, almost gliding across the soft grass as the path widens and the trees gradually part. Ahead, a single presence begins to take shape, immense yet inviting. At first, you see only a silhouette, broad, gently curved branches, stretching outward in graceful arcs. As you draw closer, the subtle glow in the air gathers around it, revealing the unmistakable form of a great Bodhi tree. Its trunk is wide and ancient, its bark textured with deep grooves that carry the quiet memory of countless seasons. The leaves shimmer with an inner light, glowing softly even in the night, as though illuminated by wisdom itself. The tree radiates a serenity so deep that the air around it feels different, thicker with stillness, yet somehow easier to breathe. As you approach, your breath slows naturally, drawn into alignment with the calm presence of the Bodhi tree. The very ground beneath your feet seems to hum with a warm, grounding energy, as if the earth is exhaling in long, peaceful rhythms. You step into the tree's vast circle of shade, though the light beneath its branches is not dim. It glows softly, like a sanctuary formed of radiance rather than shadow. The roots twist gently across the earth, shaped not by force, but by patience, extending outward in beautiful organic patterns. When you place your hand upon one, warmth flows up through your fingertips, steady and reassuring, as if the tree recognizes your presence and welcomes you into its ancient peace. You sit at the base of the tree, leaning your back lightly against the broad trunk. The moment you make contact, a sense of steady grounding rises through your spine. The tree holds you effortlessly, like a patient teacher who has all the time in the world. Beneath its branches, the air feels charged with teachings that are not spoken, but understood. The Buddha once awakened beneath a tree like this, under the quiet witness of nature, without seeking praise, without seeking power, simply resting in awareness until truth revealed itself. You close your eyes, letting the soft glow of the leaves filter through your lids. A calm warmth spreads across your chest, dissolving tightness you hadn't noticed. Thoughts that surface drift quietly away, unable to cling to anything. The Bodhi tree teaches without instruction, the way its roots embrace the earth, its branches open to the sky, its leaves sigh gently in the breeze. Everything about it expresses a wisdom born from patience, gentleness, and unshakable clarity. You listen, though nothing speaks, and slowly meaning begins to arise, not in words, but in felt understanding. Awakening, you sense, is not a sudden break or a dramatic revelation. It is the softening of the heart. It is the willingness to sit quietly with what is, without resistance. It is the steady release of what does not serve your peace. Beneath this tree, you feel that awakening is not distant or unreachable. It is woven into each breath, waiting to be noticed. The leaves above rustle with a breeze that feels almost like a benediction. The sound is delicate, peaceful, like countless tiny hands brushing against one another in gentle applause. It washes through your awareness, clearing the remnants of unease from your mind. As the wind softens again, the leaves settle into stillness, and you feel a deeper silence seep into your bones. You rest against the Bodhi tree, as though time itself has slowed to a quiet ripple. A soft warmth blooms in the center of your chest, the unmistakable glow of compassion, not directed toward anything specific, but radiating outward naturally, like light from a flame. It expands gently to your shoulders, your arms, your hands, filling the spaces inside you where heaviness once lived. With slow intention, you place your palms together at your heart, offering a silent gesture of gratitude, not to the tree alone, but to this entire journey that has brought you here, to every step, every breath, every moment of quiet teaching. When you lower your hands again, your heart feels clearer, as though the Bodhi tree has brushed away a layer of dust that once obscured your inner light. In the stillness, your awareness sharpens subtly. You notice for the first time a soft silver glow diffusing beyond the far side of the tree, gentle, shimmering, as though moonlight were falling through water. It gathers in the distance just beyond the roots, forming a faint pathway shimmering with promise. You rise slowly from the base of the tree, its warmth lingering along your back. The Bodhi tree's leaves rustle in a soft farewell, a subtle reminder that awakening continues with each step you choose to take. With a quiet inhale, you turn toward the silver-lit path, drawn by the gentle promise of deeper insight waiting within the sanctuary of moonlit reflections that lies just ahead. You take your first steps along the silver-lit path, your breath moving softly in your chest, each inhale guided by the glow ahead. The air grows cooler as you walk, carrying with it a faint shimmer of sound, something lighter than wind, softer than the rustle of grass. It brushes past your ears like a gentle sigh, subtle enough that you might mistake it for the night air. Yet something inside you recognizes it instantly. This is not mere sound. It is a whisper that seems to rise from the world itself, a voice woven from stillness and compassion. You pause beneath a canopy of slender, luminous leaves swaying overhead. Their edges glow with a pale pearlescent light, and the soft rustling they create feels rhythmic, intentional, almost like words spoken in a language deeper than speech. You close your eyes to listen more fully, letting your awareness expand the way a calm lake widens beneath moonlight. At first, the whisper feels like a breeze brushing the inner walls of your mind. Then it gathers shape, not as sentences, but as gentle hints of meaning, like ripples touching the shore of your heart. Rest. See clearly. Let go softly. The Buddha's teachings do not descend upon you as commands. They arrive as invitations. They carry no urgency, no pressure. They feel like the forest, like the moon, like the earth beneath your feet. Constant, patient, endlessly compassionate. The whisper reminds you of what you have known in fleeting moments, but forgotten in the noise of daily life. That peace is not something to be chased. It grows where resistance loosens, where the mind releases its tight grip on past and future. With your eyes still closed, you feel yourself leaning slightly toward the rustling leaves, as though they are speaking directly into the quiet place within your chest. The whisper softens further, taking on the warmth of a familiar presence. It feels like the echo of the Buddha's own voice, not bound to history or form, but manifesting through the very breath of the world. You sense no figure standing beside you, no apparition, only the presence of wisdom woven into the fabric of everything around you. The leaves rustle again, creating a shimmering wave of sound that passes gently above your head. Their movement resonates in your body, loosening a final thread of tension you hadn't noticed you were still holding. It slips away, as naturally as a shadow dissolving at dawn. You place a hand over your heart and feel a quiet warmth growing there, steady and comforting. You open your eyes, slowly. The grove behind you remains serene, but the path ahead now seems subtly guided, not by light alone, but by the whisper still echoing gently within your awareness. The silver glow that first led you from the Bodhi tree now extends more clearly, winding between tall reeds and bending trees that seem to bow slightly as you pass. Each leaf continues to shimmer with a soft murmur, as though carrying remnants of the whisper forward. As you walk, the sound of the leaves changes. Their rustling deepens, forming a rhythmic pattern that blends with the faint sound of flowing water. It is distant at first, barely noticeable, but as you move closer, the whisper grows richer, merging with the quiet cadence of a river. The water's voice joins the leaves in a gentle harmony, the two sounds weaving together like the inhale and exhale of a single living breath. The Buddha's whisper shifts with the rhythm of the water. Flow gently. Let the heart become clear. Let the mind become spacious. You walk with slow steps, letting each wordless teaching sink deeper into your being. The silver-lit path narrows as the sound of water grows louder. The air around you freshens, carrying the crisp scent of a riverbank, a cool blend of stone, water, and night-blooming grasses. You feel the environment guiding you with the same quiet wisdom that has shaped this entire journey. Ahead, the trees thin, revealing a faint glimmer of moving water through their trunks. The whisper in the leaves softens as you reach the edge of the grove, almost as though it is bowing out, handing you gently into the care of the river's voice. The ground beneath your feet becomes softer, the grass changing into smooth, cool earth shaped by flowing currents. You step out from beneath the luminous canopy and onto the bank of a peacefully flowing river. Its surface glows with moonlight, rippling in long, graceful lines that stretch across the water like pathways of liquid silver. The river speaks in a slow, steady rhythm, one that feels ancient and wise, capable of holding stories without ever clinging to them. You stand there for a moment, feeling the whisper settle into stillness within your mind. The Buddha's voice in the leaves becomes quiet now, not gone but integrated, its teachings woven seamlessly into the breath you take, into the openness of your heart, into the clarity forming gently within you. And as you turn your gaze toward the flowing water, you sense that this river will offer its own gentle guidance, carrying you further into the deep calm that awaits along its shimmering moonlit edge. You step closer to the river's edge, drawn by the soft murmur of water weaving its way through the quiet night. Moonlight rests on the surface like a gentle veil, casting long bands of silver that drift and ripple with every subtle current. The river moves without haste, its flow steady and sure, guided by nothing but its own natural course. You kneel beside it, feeling the cool mist rise to meet your skin, a soothing touch that invites ease into your breath and softness into your heart. The sound of the flowing water draws your attention inward. Each ripple seems to echo a quiet truth you have been moving toward since the beginning of this journey. The river does not cling to the stones that line its path. It does not resist the bends, nor demand that the terrain change for its convenience. It simply flows, adapting with grace, embracing movement as its nature. Watching it, you feel something inside you stir, a recognition of how peaceful life becomes when resistance softens and letting go begins. You reach your hand into the cool water. The current moves around your fingers with gentle insistence, neither pulling harshly nor recoiling. It accepts your presence effortlessly, the way compassion accepts all things, without judgment, without hesitation. As the water flows past, you feel it brushing against your skin like a soft whisper, encouraging you to release what no longer serves you. With your hand still immersed, you close your eyes. The river becomes a mirror for your inner life, its currents reflecting the flow of thoughts, emotions, and memories within you. Some of these inner currents are gentle, passing easily. Others feel heavier, lingering just below the surface. But here, beside the flowing water, you begin to understand that even the heaviest burdens can be placed into the river's embrace. You imagine each weight you've been carrying, fear, doubt, regret, expectations, taking shape in your open hand. There is no need to define them clearly. You simply feel their presence. Then, with a quiet breath, you turn your palm toward the current and allow the river to take them. You feel the subtle shift as they leave you, drifting away with the water's steady motion. The river does not struggle under their weight, nor does it hold them tightly. It simply carries them onward, letting them dissolve into its vastness. As your breath deepens, a sense of lightness spreads through your chest. The tightness that once lingered around your heart begins to loosen. You lift your hand from the water and notice how clean, how renewed it feels, even though no physical change has occurred. The release happened not in the water, but in you. The river merely helped you see that letting go is possible, safe, and deeply soothing. You sit beside the flowing current, letting your body relax fully onto the soft earth. The rhythmic sound of water sliding over smooth stones becomes your companion, a steady, calming presence that lulls the mind toward rest. With each inhale, you breathe in clarity. With each exhale, you feel the remnants of tension drifting out of you like mist rising from the surface. The moonlight brightens overhead, illuminating the river with shimmering threads of silver. You watch as leaves, petals, and tiny twigs float past, none resisting, none trying to return to where they once were. They follow the current with graceful surrender, trusting the river to guide them to whatever comes next. You realize that letting go does not mean losing yourself. It means allowing life to move naturally, without forcing it to match old expectations. A warm breeze moves across the water, carrying the faint scent of distant blossoms. It brushes against your face gently, like a reassurance that the world continues to support you as you release old burdens. You close your eyes again, feeling the breeze weave through your hair and across your skin. You rest in this moment completely, letting the river's song lull your mind into deeper quiet. You begin to notice that the river's sound shifts as you listen more closely. Beneath the surface murmur lies a deeper rhythm, a low, resonant hum that feels almost like a heartbeat. It pulses gently through the ground beneath you, through the water, through your own body. This subtle rhythm seems to say, you are safe. You can rest. You can let go. The longer you sit here, the more naturally release comes. Old worries slip away before you can even name them. Tightness softens into space. The river has become a trusted friend, offering you a quiet place to let your inner world relax and find balance again. After some time, you rise slowly to your feet. The sound of the river continues behind you, steady and peaceful. A reminder that letting go is not a single act, but a gentle practice that unfolds breath by breath. As you turn from the water, you notice a soft glow forming along a winding path that leads beyond the riverbank. The light is warm, inviting, guiding you onward to the next step of your journey. You take one last look at the flowing water, gratitude blooming softly in your chest. Then, with renewed lightness in your stride, you begin walking toward the gentle glow ahead, where a tranquil meadow of quiet awakening waits to guide you deeper into the serenity of this night. You step once more to the river's edge, feeling the cool night air brush against your cheeks. The moon hangs luminously above, its reflection stretching across the water like a path woven from light. The current flows with unhurried grace, steady, welcoming, and deeply serene. As you stand there, a quiet understanding rises within you. The river that carried away your burdens can now carry you as well, holding you in the same gentle way it holds every drifting leaf and wandering petal. You lower yourself to the water with slow, mindful movements. The coolness touches your skin first, refreshing, soothing. Then the soft support of the river gathers beneath you. As you lean back, the water rises to cradle your weight, lifting you effortlessly until you are floating on your back, eyes open to the vast sky above. The sensation is immediate and profound, a full-body surrender into trust. The river supports you completely, asking nothing of you except that you allow yourself to rest. Your breath deepens as the current carries you gently along. Each inhale draws in calm. Each exhale releases the last remnants of tension. Your muscles soften one by one, as though the water were dissolving anything that tries to hold you up unnecessarily. The river becomes an extension of your own breath, lifting you slightly as you inhale, settling you softly as you exhale. You drift like a cloud moving through open sky, Above you, the stars shimmer with a quiet brilliance, scattered across the night like grains of dust, touched by moonlight. They seem closer now, as though the river has lowered the distance between earth and sky. You feel the vastness of the world reflected in your own spacious mind, the kind of open clarity that comes when the body rests without effort. As you float, your thoughts grow lighter, softer, drifting like small feathers on a wide breeze. Every so often, the water brushes gently against your shoulders or the back of your hands, reminding you of its presence, steady, compassionate, unwavering. You feel as though the river is teaching you its own form of wisdom. That ease arises when you allow yourself to be carried, when you release the need to direct every movement, and instead trust the unfolding of each moment. Your ears sink slightly beneath the surface, and the world shifts into a muffled, soothing hum. The river's heartbeat pulses faintly around you, steady, rhythmic, comforting. You listen, letting the sound anchor you deeper into relaxation. The Buddha taught that peace can be found when one stops struggling against the flow of life. Here, floating effortlessly, you understand this teaching not as an idea, but as an experience. Soothing, immediate, true. A warm breeze sweeps across the water, brushing your face with soft fingers. It carries the scent of distant blossoms and the subtle sweetness of the night. The breeze feels like a whispered blessing, a reminder that even as you drift, you remain connected to the world around you in the most tender of ways. Nothing pulls at you. Nothing weighs on you. You are held gently, just as you are. Slowly, you lift your gaze from the sky to the horizon ahead. There, rising gently from the darkness, you see a soft glow forming along the riverbank. It shines with a warm, golden radiance, subtle at first, then gradually brightening as the current carries you nearer. The glow feels different from the silver moonlight around you. It pulses with a warmth reminiscent of lanterns lighting the path of a sacred sanctuary. You continue drifting toward it, the water guiding you with quiet purpose. The glow spreads softly across the surface of the river, forming ripples of amber that glide toward you like invitations. As the distance closes, you feel a subtle shift in the air, a quiet anticipation, a sense of something deeply peaceful waiting to meet you. The river begins to slow, as though easing you gently into a place of greater stillness. The golden shoreline comes into view, more fully now. A tranquil bank lined with soft grass and illuminated by clusters of small, glowing orbs suspended in the air. They hover like floating lanterns, their light moving with the breeze, casting warm reflections across the water. You feel the current guide your body toward the shallows. As the water gently lowers you, your feet find the riverbed, and you stand once more, steady, restored, and held by the quiet glow of the illuminated shore. The floating lanterns bob softly in the air, forming a gentle trail that leads deeper into the golden landscape ahead. Their warm radiance invites you forward, not with urgency, but with a tender sense of welcome, as though they have been patiently waiting for your arrival. You take a slow breath, feeling gratitude expand in your chest. The river behind you continues its quiet flow, offering a final soft murmur like a farewell blessing. Ahead, the lantern-lit path glimmers gently, guiding you toward the next serene chapter of your journey, where a meadow of luminous stillness waits just beyond the golden bank. You stand at the edge of the glowing riverbank, allowing the quiet warmth of the golden lanterns to settle over your skin like a gentle embrace. The soft grass beneath your feet cushions every movement, grounding you after the floating ease of the river. As you take your first steps onto this illuminated shore, something deep within you stirs, a subtle recognition, tender and familiar, like returning to a place your heart has always known, yet forgot how to reach. This shore carries the feeling of homecoming, not to any physical place, but to yourself. The lanterns sway lightly in the breeze, their warm glow drifting across your path like small floating suns. Each one seems to brighten as you approach, reflecting the quiet readiness growing within your chest. The river behind you continues its steady murmur, but its sound feels distant now, softened by the gentle hum of warmth rising from the grass. You turn your face toward the path ahead, and the soft light paints the air in hues of amber and gold. You walk forward slowly, each step sinking into the earth with a sense of belonging. The ground feels warmer here, as though it has absorbed the glowing essence of countless journeys before yours. The air holds a comforting stillness, a stillness that seems to whisper, "You have arrived where your heart can rest." The Buddha taught that true home is not found in a place, but in the mind that knows how to be still. As you continue along the gentle shore, you begin to understand this teaching with quiet clarity. Your breath deepens, moving with natural ease. With each inhale, you feel warmth rising up your spine, flowing through your shoulders and into your hands. With each exhale, you release the last traces of effort, allowing your body to soften into its own presence. The more you walk, the more the inner world settles. Thoughts grow quiet, drifting like distant clouds across an open sky. You realize that this sense of arrival comes not from the golden shore itself, but from the softening within you as you return to your own awareness. The lanterns float beside you in a gentle procession, illuminating not just the path, but the spaces within your heart that were once dimmed by worry or fatigue. Their light reveals tenderness where you once felt tension, clarity where confusion had lingered. You notice how the world around you responds to this softening. The grass glows more warmly. The air becomes lighter. The lanterns hover closer, as though honoring your quiet return. After some distance, the shore widens into a small clearing bathed in golden light. At its center rests a smooth, round stone, warmed by the glow around it. You feel drawn to it immediately, sensing an invitation to rest. You lower yourself onto the stone, and its warmth spreads through your body, steady, grounding, kind. Sitting there, you feel as though the earth itself is holding you, offering support, without asking anything in return. With your hands resting softly in your lap, you allow your eyes to drift closed. A profound stillness rises within you, deeper than the quiet you held beneath the Bodhi tree, deeper than the silence of the cave. It is the stillness of coming home, not to a shelter of wood or stone, but to the open space of your own heart where peace has always waited patiently. In this stillness, a gentle understanding unfolds. You are not separate from the peace you seek. You are not lacking the refuge you long for. You are already home in the awareness that rests beneath every breath. A soft breeze brushes your cheek, and its warmth carries the familiar echo of compassion. You feel the breeze swirl around you like a tender embrace. It touches your shoulders, your back, your hands, as if acknowledging your return with quiet joy. The moment feels simple, yet profound. A recognition that homecoming is an inner gesture, a willingness to rest in your own being with kindness and openness. You open your eyes slowly. The lanterns glow brighter now, as though responding to your deepened calm. The path beyond the clearing becomes visible, a soft, glowing trail that winds gently upward into a field bathed in silver light. It looks peaceful, inviting, shaped by the same serene energy that fills your heart. The shore behind you remains warm and steady, yet you feel ready to continue. You rise from the stone, carrying the warmth of home within you. The lanterns drift forward again, guiding your steps toward the glowing trail ahead. The golden shore seems to offer a silent blessing as you walk on, reminding you that wherever you journey next, the refuge you found here will move with you, living quietly inside your breath. Ahead, the path leads toward a tranquil meadow, touched by soft moonlight, where deeper serenity waits to unfold in the gentle embrace of the night. You follow the gentle ascent of the glowing path as it curves away from the golden shore, your steps guided by lanterns that drift just ahead of you like warm floating stars. The air grows softer as you climb, carrying with it a subtle sweetness, a fragrance reminiscent of jasmine, warm earth, and something quieter still, something that feels like memory softened by compassion. As you walk, the night sky deepens into a velvety tapestry overhead, each star shimmering with delicate clarity, as if they too have grown more peaceful in your presence. The path leads you toward a wide meadow bathed in pale moonlight. Grass sways in slow, rhythmic waves, its silvery blades shimmering like water under the touch of the breeze. At first glance, the meadow seems vast and open, but as you step into it, you feel something deeper beneath its surface, a quiet pulse of welcome, as though the earth recognizes your arrival and responds with gentle warmth. You pause, letting your breath settle into the spaciousness around you. The meadow holds a stillness unlike any you've encountered so far, neither the hushed silence of the cave, nor the luminous calm beneath the Bodhi tree. This stillness feels intimate, as though it exists just for you, a tender refuge shaped by your own journey. You realize with a soft understanding that you are moving not into a new place, but into a deeper layer of your own heart. As you continue walking, the ground beneath your feet changes subtly. The soft grass gives way to an even softer surface, like moss woven from moonlight. The sensation brings a feeling of ease that rises through your legs, your spine, your shoulders. Every step becomes a gentle unfolding, and with each unfolding, the meadow grows brighter, not with light, but with clarity. You sense a soft expansion within your chest, as though your heart is opening just a little more with every breath. Ahead at the center of the meadow, you see something that looks almost like a mirage at first. A small circular clearing glows with warm, inviting light, not from lanterns or moonbeams, but from a source deep within the earth itself. And in the very center of that glow sits a single resting cushion, simple, soft, perfectly placed. It appears as though it has been waiting for you long before you even began this journey. You approach slowly, feeling the subtle warmth flowing from the cushion. It is not the warmth of fabric or sunlight, it is the warmth of presence, of compassion shaped into something you can touch. When you lower yourself onto it, the cushion receives your weight with effortless tenderness, molding to your body as if crafted from your own breath. The moment you settle, a profound calm spreads through your entire being, rising like warm water, filling the hollow spaces within you. You close your eyes. The meadow around you falls into perfect quiet. There is no breeze now, no sound of lanterns drifting, no distant whisper from the river. Only the steady rhythm of your own breath moving gently in and out. In this quiet, you begin to sense something beneath your awareness, a sanctuary untouched by the world's storms, a refuge that has been with you since you first drew breath. It exists not as an idea, not as a distant goal, but as a living space in your heart, clear, expansive, and always available. This inner sanctuary feels like the essence of compassion itself. It welcomes you without conditions, without judgment, without expectation. Here, there is no striving to be better, no guilt for the past, no fear for the future. Everything rests in simple presence. You realize with a tenderness that brings warmth to your eyes that you have sought peace in many places. Yet the deepest peace has always been within you, waiting patiently behind the noise of the mind. As you breathe, imagery begins to rise gently in your awareness. a soft glow at the center of your chest, expanding with each inhale, shimmering like a tiny star nestled in the cradle of your heart. With every breath, it grows brighter, clearer, more steady. You feel its warmth spreading outward, through your arms, your legs, your face, your entire being. This is the sanctuary within you, the inner refuge that no storm can overturn, no sorrow can dim. You rest in this sanctuary with complete ease. Time slows, softens, dissolves. The glow within your chest becomes a quiet flame, steady and unwavering. And as it grows, you begin to sense something forming at the edge of your awareness. Something gentle, subtle, welcoming. It feels like an invitation to rise, not outward, but inward, into an even more spacious realm of peace, waiting just beyond this moment. You open your eyes. The cushion beneath you glows softly, mirroring the warmth in your chest. Ahead, a narrow path of luminous petals begins to form across the meadow, each petal glowing with the same gentle light now blooming within your heart. With your breath calm and your sanctuary awakened, you rise softly from the resting cushion, ready to explore the next quiet space unfolding before you, where the petals will guide you into the chamber of inner light, waiting just beyond the meadow's edge. You follow the glowing trail of petals as it winds gently across the moonlit meadow, each soft step deepening the sense of calm that now fills your entire being. The petals illuminate the ground in warm hues, pale gold, soft rose, gentle ivory, guiding you with the tenderness of a whispered lullaby. As you walk, the air grows quieter still, as though the whole meadow is holding its breath in serene anticipation. The night sky stretches wide above you, clear and deep, its stars shimmering like watchful companions. The trail leads you to a second clearing, smaller and more intimate than the first. At its center rests a cushion, simple, round, inviting, crafted from a fabric that appears to glow from within. Its light is not bright but warm, like the dim flame of a lantern placed lovingly at someone's bedside. You feel drawn to it immediately, as though the cushion recognizes your footsteps and has been preparing itself to hold you in complete stillness. When you reach it, you lower yourself slowly, allowing the cushion to receive your weight. It yields softly beneath you, cradling your hips, your legs, your entire frame with gentle steadiness. The moment you settle, a wave of release moves through your spine. Your shoulders sink naturally. Your hands rest loosely in your lap. Your breath lengthens without effort. It is as though this cushion has been soaked in the essence of peace for countless ages, and now it shares that peace with your tired body. You close your eyes, and the world becomes warm and dark, like drifting into the folds of a beloved blanket. Every breath invites you deeper into rest. Every exhale melts tension that once seemed immovable. The warmth beneath you rises into your back and spreads gently along each vertebra, loosening places where worry had lingered. Soon your body feels weightless, suspended in a cocoon of stillness, unlike anything you've ever known. In this deep rest, teachings begin to surface, not as lessons spoken, but as truths felt directly. You sense the Buddha's wisdom woven into the space around you. Rest is not escape. Rest is returning. Letting go is not losing. It is opening. Stillness is not emptiness. It is fullness, without grasping. These teachings do not come as thoughts. They come as sensations, as quiet expansions within your chest, as soft dissolving of tension behind the eyes. You feel the cushion's warmth merge with the warmth of your breath until body and seat become a single field of ease. Nothing is required of you. No striving, no effort. Simply being is enough. Your awareness begins to soften like clay warmed by gentle hands. Edges blur, Boundaries loosen. You no longer feel where your body ends and the cushion begins. The meadow seems to fade at the edges of perception, not disappearing, but drifting into the background as your inner world grows more spacious. A quiet hum, subtle, rhythmic, arises beneath you, vibrating softly through the cushion and up into your spine. It feels like the earth itself is encouraging your rest, supporting your surrender. Your mind drifts the way clouds drift across a clear morning sky. Thoughts appear as soft shapes, but they have no weight. They float through you gently, dissolving before they can form into stories. You feel free from their pull, free to simply breathe, to simply be. For the first time, perhaps in a very long while, you feel no need to hold anything together. The world, for this moment, holds you instead. The deeper you rest, the more you sense a subtle shift inside, a widening, like a door opening into a vast inner chamber. A chamber untouched by stress, untouched by memory, untouched by longing. It is the pure space of awareness itself, boundless, luminous, peaceful. You realize that you are resting not on the cushion, but within this chamber of awareness. The cushion is merely the doorway that allowed you to feel it. Your breath grows feather light. The hum beneath you grows softer still, fading into the background like a lullaby nearly complete. You sink into a peace so profound that even the idea of peace dissolves. You are simply here, held in a stillness that needs no name. When your awareness gently rises again, like a small ember glowing in the darkness, you feel a faint warmth blooming just ahead of you. You open your eyes slowly, and the meadow reappears. Soft, luminous, safe. But now, beyond the cushion, you notice a subtle radiance forming at the edge of the clearing. It appears like a thin veil of shimmering light, delicate as silk, fluttering even without wind. You rise from the cushion slowly, carrying the deep rest within you like a quiet flame. As you stand, the shimmering veil brightens, revealing the outline of a tranquil sanctuary, waiting just beyond the clearing, a place where your inner light will expand even further, into a realm of pure illumination that lies ahead. You step through the shimmering veil, as though walking into a gentler version of the world, one softened by moonlight, by silence, by the quiet pulse of compassion that seems to radiate from every direction. The air is cooler here, yet deeply comforting, wrapping around your skin with the tenderness of a soft blanket. Above you, the night sky stretches wide and endless, its stars unfurling across the heavens in constellations that glow with profound clarity. The moon hangs full and luminous, not as a distant sphere, but as a gentle witness to the unfolding peace around you. You feel the night settle over your shoulders, warm despite its darkness, like a presence long known, but only now fully remembered. This darkness is not the absence of light. It is the presence of vastness, of acceptance, of quiet understanding. There is no fear in it, no uncertainty, only calm, only spaciousness. Only the feeling that every breath you take is shared with the entire cosmos, woven seamlessly into a rhythm far older than memory. As you walk deeper into the sanctuary of night, the ground beneath your feet changes subtly. It becomes soft as powder, cool as shadow, and each step creates a faint shimmer of pale blue light that dissolves into the air. The world feels alive with gentle luminescence, as though everything, earth, air, sky, is illuminated not by sight but by intention. The darkness carries its own glow, the way a quiet heart carries its own wisdom. You pause, resting your palms lightly against your chest. The night seems to expand around you in response, making room for your breath, your heartbeat, your presence. You feel the soft truth that you are not separate from anything here. You are part of the night, part of its stillness. part of the gentle pulse that connects all beings. The Buddha taught that separation is an illusion, that beneath the shifting surface of life, all hearts meet in the vastness of awareness. Tonight, under this expansive sky, that teaching feels unmistakably real. A breeze moves through the sanctuary, slow, warm, full of quiet compassion. It carries with it the sense of countless lives breathing together, people resting in their homes, animals curled in dens, birds tucked safely into branches, even grasses swaying in sleep. Everything feels held within the same peaceful night. You sense each life glowing softly in its own way, like distant lanterns floating across an infinite sea. You feel yourself becoming one of those lights, small and humble, yet complete and perfect in your own gentle glow. You close your eyes, letting the breeze move through your hair and across your face. The night seems to hum softly, a subtle vibration that resonates in your chest. It is not a sound you hear with your ears, but with your being, an unspoken truth that whispers, you belong. You are part of everything. You are never alone. In this quiet hum, you begin to perceive the interconnectedness of all beings, not as a concept, but as a felt reality. You sense the hopes and fears of others, their joys and sorrows, their small triumphs and quiet burdens. And in that sensing, compassion rises naturally, not as effort, but as recognition. You feel your heart widen, as though making room for every living thing, wrapping each one in warmth, like the night wraps the world. Your breath deepens. Each inhale brings the vastness of the night into your body. Each exhale sends compassion outward, carried on the breeze like a soft blessing. You imagine this compassion drifting across forests, rivers, mountains, cities and oceans, touching every being gently, offering rest, offering warmth, offering quiet ease. You picture it reaching even those who do not know they need it, softening places where worry gathers, and loosening knots where fear resides. As you open your eyes again, the sanctuary seems brighter, not in light, but in presence. The stars seem closer, more vibrant. The moon glows more warmly. Even the darkness feels alive, humming with the compassion rising in your chest. For a moment, the whole world feels like one vast, breathing being, a being of peace, of kindness, of shared existence. You take a slow step forward, and the shimmering ground beneath you brightens in soft waves, as if responding to the compassion you now carry. The night feels endlessly patient, endlessly supportive, guiding you in silence toward a deeper serenity waiting just ahead. You walk with ease, your heart open, your breath spacious. The sanctuary expands around you in gentle waves, and you begin to notice a faint golden glow forming in the distance, subtle at first, then slowly deepening, spreading warmth across the horizon like the first hint of dawn. You feel something shift within you, a quiet readiness rising. The glow ahead calls not with urgency, but with profound peace, inviting you toward the culmination of this journey, toward a final space of complete serenity, acceptance, and luminous rest that awaits just beyond the embrace of the night. You walk toward the soft golden glow unfolding along the horizon, the light spreading like a gentle sunrise blooming within the night itself. With each step, the radiance warms the air around you, brushing your skin like a familiar hand guiding you forward with quiet affection. The darkness remains, but it no longer feels like night. It feels like a vast, peaceful expanse making room for the illumination rising from within you. The glow brightens slowly, patiently, just as a lotus opens one petal at a time. As you move closer, the landscape begins to shift. The shimmering ground softens, into a smooth field of pale sand, warm beneath your feet. The golden light gathers at the far end of the field, pooling like a gentle lantern resting on the earth. When you reach it, you discover a circular space, bathed in luminous warmth, open to the sky yet cradled by the stillness of the night. This space feels both sacred and familiar, as though you have stepped into the quietest chamber of your own heart. You enter the circle of light and sit down, allowing the warm sand to support you. The moment you settle, the air becomes still in a way that feels deliberate, as though the entire world has paused to hold you in its gentle embrace. The night sky stretches above you in deep blues and shimmering silver, but the golden glow around you creates a shelter, a sanctuary woven from light, silence, and compassion. You close your eyes and breathe in deeply. Your breath flows in smooth waves, steady and slow, each inhale drawing the golden warmth deeper into your chest. With every exhale, your whole being softens, releasing the faintest traces of effort or concern. The Buddha's wisdom begins to arise now, not as teachings recalled, but as a felt truth, blossoming naturally from the stillness in your heart. You feel the essence of refuge settling around you, the refuge of the Buddha, an awakened presence that sees clearly and loves without condition, the refuge of the Dhamma, the truth of things as they are, simple and profound, the refuge of the Sangha, the quiet companionship of all beings, walking the path of peace. These refuges are not distant ideals. They feel close, intimate, as though they are forming a gentle shelter around your body and mind. You sense them like three soft wings folding around you, offering warmth, protection, and unconditional acceptance. Your breath grows even slower. Your body begins to feel weightless, as if the golden light has woven into your limbs, supporting you effortlessly. A softness spreads from the center of your chest, calm, luminous, tender. It radiates outward, flowing through your shoulders, down your arms, across your hips, and into your legs. You feel yourself dissolving gently into the warmth, like sugar melting into tea. The teachings you have encountered along your journey echo quietly within you now. The stillness of the lake, the patience of the mountain, the compassion of the grove, the remembrance within the cave, the clarity of the Bodhi tree, the ease of the floating river, the belonging of the night. They gather here in this final sanctuary, not as memories, but as living presences, forming a circle of wisdom that surrounds you like a protective mantle. Each teaching feels like a hand resting on your shoulder, reassuring you that you are safe, that you are held, that nothing is required of you now, except to rest. You breathe more deeply than before, filling your lungs with the gentle warmth that seems to come from both the earth beneath you and the sky above. Your thoughts slow to a quiet drift, dissolving like mist touched by morning sun. Your heart becomes spacious, open, and soft. You feel the ease of surrender blooming within you, not a surrender of giving up, but a surrender of letting be. The golden light around you pulses softly, in harmony with your breath. It feels almost alive, as though it is breathing with you, syncing its rhythm to yours in perfect companionship. You sense that this shelter, the warmth, the light, the refuge, is not outside you. It is rising from within you, formed from the compassion, clarity, and stillness that have always lived at the deepest part of your being. You rest in this awareness, letting your body grow heavy with sleepiness while your heart grows lighter with peace. You feel held, protected, safe. Every muscle loosens, every worry fades. The night deepens, embracing you fully, tenderly, And as the golden glow softens into a gentle haze, you feel the Buddha's wisdom settling over you like a soft blanket, a reminder that the refuge you feel now is always present, waiting behind every breath, ready to return whenever you pause, whenever you soften, whenever you remember. Your eyes grow heavy. Your breath becomes slow and warm. You feel yourself drifting gently, like a leaf floating on calm water. The world becomes quiet, loving, serene, and you sink softly into rest, sheltered, peaceful, held in the boundless wisdom that has guided you gently to this perfect stillness.